Welcome, Addo. You're first. I think I'm ready. And we're here. Another day. Another grind. How are you doing, Addo? How's your morning or afternoon, I guess, right? Should be like afternoon for you. I can't remember if it's 5 or 7. We're here, jumping off bridges. It's your host, Cody, and we're here, jumping off bridges, as per usual on the agenda. It's another day of jumping off bridges. Actually, before jumping off bridges, though, I need to reorganize my thoughts here. Because I have, 15 days? Probably a little bit less. So we have, let's do the plus/minus. Like 2 or 3. 15 days. Okay. So I have 15 days, and what do I need to get done in that time? I guess we can categorize it, because I think it's pretty important for me to reorganize my thoughts and figure out where my priorities are here. So I got 15 days until the update. What do we want to get done in then? It's about 2 weeks. Okay, I guess let's do, we'll do quotes mandatory, because none of these things are really mandatory, but it would be like idealistic mandatory. Some achievements, IG. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. It shouldn't take long. Yeah, it probably wouldn't take long. Here, we'll do mandatory, and then we'll do idealistic, and then we'll do like future sight for things down the line. Future, or maybe just immediately after the update. Yeah. So my mandatory consideration, achievements would be idealistic. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So new achievements. I think I have a thing for achievements. Yeah, I have some achievement ideas. Beating bog with maximum clouds, which I gotta update that if I want to do that. No barrels broken. That was a new level that I was working on. I'm not sure it's gonna be in this update yet, because I didn't like the. Let's look at it real quick. I don't even remember. It's been a long time since I've looked at that level. I don't remember what the thing looked like. I thought it was like a hill or something. Maybe I took it out. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, I don't know about that. Beat the black snake without waking him up. Yeah, that was one of the achievements I was considering. Good luck figuring that out. Beat the dragon while ASCII is another one I was considering. Okay, so I feel like the achievements are probably going to be X level stars. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. And then probably beat Trauma Dump, because that'll be in there. Trauma Dump is the, so the level stars, first off, every time you beat a level, it'll have a star. So I'll probably do like if you have 30, 40 stars, that'll be an achievement sort of thing. So that'll show how much you've completed. Trauma Dump is this level, beating it in 20 seconds. I think it takes about 55 seconds to beat it the normal way, and then it's much more difficult if you try to beat it in 20. So I might do that. Beat the extra maze and Labyrinth. That will be in there. That is this level up here. And I do have the extra maze sketched out. So, yeah, we can do some of the achievements. That is idealistic, but it shouldn't take long. But the prerequisite for doing that requires, new achievements, prereq. So we need to do the reintegrate Steam extension. But we have some achievements we can do for sure. I just have to get this. So then mandatory here is probably going to be for sure the reintegrating Steam extension so that you can actually earn the achievements with your Steam profile. I don't know how long that's going to take, but that's something I'll do off stream. And we'll see. Reintegrate Steam extension, new achievements, prereq. Okay, and then definitely for the future, my most immediate next goal is going to be finishing the hard mode Old Rust commission. That may just be the next grind that we do. I also want to consider doing the find the blank competition. And the only prereq for that is just basically just getting the money and then finding people that are who wreck $100 for the reward, which just means working. So black waitlist possible in this update or not? It's not currently possible, no, but it wouldn't take that much to make it possible, if that answers your question. Find the blank is probably the better way. Jam competition. Prereq $100 to do that. It is not currently possible to do it. No, I don't think so. Unless I programmed it 2 years ago to have that capacity, which is possible, but I don't think that it's possible right now. Okay. And that, all right. Mandatory, okay, so all purple levels, sound them up. That's kind of like my mandatory. I honestly, if I don't somehow get around to that, I'm still releasing whatever purple levels are there because they're technically done. So maybe you have to set the volume to 0 to not wiki wiki. That's a pretty funny idea, but I cannot. Well, I can check the volume level in my. Dude, that's actually a really funny idea. That is hilarious. That is not the way I was intending on doing it, but that is very funny, Addo. I like that you think about the entire game as a whole, rather than... I remember playing some old Game Maker games, and one of them, it was kind of similar to my game in a way, but the goal was to, like, die every round. I think it was called, like, Karoshi was the name of the game. And one of the levels, you had to put, like, a actual audio CD into your CD drive in order to beat it. It was a pretty difficult thing. I forget what the reason was. I think you needed music or something to kill the guy, but it was pretty funny. And Karoshi is just a Japanese word for death by overwork. So it was kind of like a funny game where your goal was to essentially escape your salaryman job by dying. I'm sure you can find it online still somewhere, but it was an old Game Maker game that I had played. Probably in my psyche when I came up with this game for sure. It left an impression on me, I will say. Okay, so reintegrate Steam extension. That's important because that gives us achievement access. And also other features, I guess. It's pretty useful. All purple levels, sign them up. So essentially finish purple levels. That's my mandatory. Idealistic. Okay, so the other mandatory thing I need to probably consider doing is for the level editor. End level somehow. My idealistic would be level editor Steam Workshop support. My other idealistic would be Steam Cloud Saving. That's something players have been asking for a while. It's something I do want to do, but I need to read the documentation for that once I get this Steam integrated. So prereq, Steam extension, and then read documentation. Okay. New achievements, level editor. Let's look at this again. Oh, probably we want to maybe just base mandatory. Block off areas that are incomplete, or put whip wizard there. So we have like the casino we can take a look at, because the casino isn't fully finished and there's a little bit of bugs in there with one of the guys. So we probably can close that off but leave some of it open. Where's my... It's up here. Yeah, like the slot machine does work. It just needs weights to it because the weight is the same every single time. So we probably at least want to add weights for that. But I have casino there, so I think, yeah, we can probably close off the church and we can close off this until I have actual stuff inside of it. And then we'll just put these little wizards in all the areas that are blocked off still. I think that'll be that. Actually, is the parrot... I don't know if the parrot is converted over. I might need a parrot portrait. Does he have an old text? Yeah, he does. Okay. Parrot portrait. Forgot about doing his portrait. Maybe the alternative is check all portraits if I can. There may be things that do not have portraits. Oh, and then my other mandatory consideration is keys. Potentially viable key. What if there's a level that would be made to look unfinished but is actually a boss fight with the whip wizard? That's an interesting idea too, Addo. You're full of ideas today. We'll keep a picture of that too. Yeah, a level that looks like it's not complete but it is actually a full fight. That's kind of funny. Actually, my imperfection level, the level that wasn't, you know, I was intended to make it as not as perfect as possible, ended up being like one of my favorite levels. I fucking love this level. It turned out amazing. I think you'll have a lot of fun playing it. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's really good. Hello, Brent. Good morning. How are you? Well, night for you. Technically morning for you. How are you today? I'm just organizing my thoughts right now before my update because I got about 15 days, 15-ish days. And we got to do some things before that. Oh, actually, so I did get a reply from Steam. So I got to fix Steam trading cards. I don't know what it is for me anymore, Lamau. Yeah, dude, I got on my computer and I loaded up and I was like, oh man, Brent's already online. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, you get a sandwich. He needs a sandwich. That's what he does. He's just got to walk downstairs. You can get as much sandwiches as he needs. So we got to fix Steam trading cards because we got a response from Steam. It's pretty basic. It's just like they wanted me to fade out the edges to black on the profile backgrounds, which is not a big deal. They wanted my badges to have the actual border on the outside rather than inset like I had it. And then they had some other basic changes, like I need to make stuff darker or whatever by like 40% brightness. Just weird stuff. Which is weird because I was going off of the Pal World colorful stuff, and Pal World is like, for their Steam stuff, it's like super bright. I mean, look at this. This is their profile background. Like, that seems pretty bright to me. But they're like, they wanted me to drop my brightness by like almost half. I was like, that's crazy, dude. Like, some of these are just like white. I mean, like, what the hell? So anyways, I guess I'm going to drop the brightness slightly. Well, it's not aesthetic recommendation. Well, it's kind of aesthetic recommendation. They specifically want it to be like, their goal is to make sure that the profile background is unintrusive, I think, and that it doesn't overshadow the Steam API or like the Steam GUI or whatever. So they wanted me to do things. And then they were like, the badges, like the foil badge is significantly harder to get than the other badges, so it shouldn't look the same. So they're like, you should make it look like much more different than the other badges, which I thought was interesting. I don't really know about crafting badges or anything, so maybe, I mean, that kind of makes sense from their perspective. I can make it look different, no big deal. But, yeah, I thought that was really unique. I was looking at these and it was white. I'm adding, so for Steam trading cards, I'm adding badges to the game. Here, I'll show you. Um, so these are the badges. And I had an inset border, as you can see, because I like the look of it. But they're like, no, it should look like an actual badge. So you have to make the border on the outside. And I was like, okay. And then this was the foil badge, which is the sixth one. And they're like, no, you need to make it look like visually distinct because it's a much harder badge to achieve. It's like, I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna be honest. I like them all being the same. Um, and they're like, you should add like some kind of effect to make it look like that. But maybe the badge is really difficult to make like a foil badge. I'm not entirely sure. It has to do something with Steam trading cards where you have to like, put multiple of them together or something like that. So whatever. We'll do it. Yeah, I was thinking rainbow. I'm already ahead of you. They were like, oh, do like a foil thing. I was like, nah, I might change the shape of it to make it like a triangle. And then I'll do, or something like that. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But then I can move all the borders to the outside. Let me, yes, Fuzzy's game came out as well. I'm going to be playing that later. I was hoping maybe later, if I'm around, he'll join the stream and then I can play his game while he's watching. Time wizard shape, that's funny. Was it a fun process to make badges or was it tedious? The only thing I didn't like about making badges, like, it was pretty fun for me. I liked the badges. The only thing I didn't necessarily like is the trading cards, because well, they gave me another annoying comment about that too. They're like, okay, the small version of the cards has to be the same as the big version, which is kind of silly because I had like, I went in, I did like a separate version for each one. So like, I had a big version of the level that I wanted as a card, and then I had like some text for it, and then I made like a small version within their specifications that kind of still encompassed the entire art piece, so you could see it from your profile. I was like, oh, that'd be cool, because then you can see the whole level. But no, what they want me to do is they want me to like zoom in on like just a particular part. I was like, that's kind of annoying because I went in and did these nice little thumbnails essentially of it. It was kind of annoying to me. So whatever. We'll I don't know if what they said is like mandatory or just like a suggestion. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Like, I might be able to just like fix a couple things and still leave those the same way or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. But whatever. So to answer your question, Brent, I did enjoy doing some of it. The trading cards was a little weird for me. I like the badges. I like the Steam emoticons, but the Steam emoticons are like really small. Like, they want them by like 18 by 18. These are the emoticons that'll be on Steam. I might change the bridge color later if it's too. It might be too dark, honestly, but I'll leave it. But for the emoticons, their window is like 18 by 18. It was really tiny, and then they want a 54 by 54. I thought it'd be funny if people could make jump off the bridge levels in Steam discussion boards and stuff. So that's what my goal was. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do bridge, grass, water, player. Obviously, Time Wizard. He's a very important part of my game. Everybody loves him. And then I'll do like a fallen player for like just a dramatic effect of a emote. So the emotes are fun for me, and then the badges were fun. And the profile backgrounds were cool too, because I really liked the payoff of seeing my profile background there. Do I have the profile? Are they in here? Yeah, the profile backgrounds are in here. I really like how my profile backgrounds turned out. I think it was this one. He's proud of his biceps. He is. That's true. You haven't played my game, so I can show you the... Dude, add all the lore. Add absolutely all the lore to the game, dude. I'm ready for the deep Addo experience. I did a profile background that I really liked, and then I do have it fade out to black on the bottom, but they want to fade out to black on the edges and the top as well. The ad lore. Yes. There's so much ad lore, dude. But here, Brent, since you haven't seen the... Yeah, a door. That's even funnier, too. Let's play through some of the Time Wizard stuff. Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, I will. I'll show you the Time Wizard since he's pretty popular. Is this loud enough? I think it is. Whoop. No, it's not. Let's raise the audio for you guys. I think that's good. Let me know if that's, if the sound is good. Because I have a separate thing here to mix it for me. It looks about half of my audio. Let's do, so we're gonna do the time wizard so Brent can see it. So the time wizard is like probably one of the levels that I don't know, a lot of people just loved him. I thought it was really funny. But basically every time you restart it's that. And then when you get hit by these, you turn old. And so you become like less capable. Welcome, Jazz. How are you today? And so the goal for this level is you have to get this wheat while avoiding all these clocks. And you have to dull the scythe in order to attack them. It's actually a lot easier to do if you're young, but it is possible. If I can do it. A berry that plays jazz is true. I'm trolling myself, dude. I'm being trolled by myself. Oh no, I missed. So that's like the first time you meet him, and then I actually do have hard mode levels where you go and deal with him again. And there's a bunch of jokes, and obviously I won't spoil like everything in here. I'll let you, if you decide to endeavor to play it, but I will show you some of the basics. And then hold on, we can do. I have a game idea, but I want pretty graphics. Can an engine give me that? No, it cannot. You will have to draw the pretty graphics yourself, unfortunately. You can get asset packs, though. They're all the Time Wizard's lackeys, dude. So this is my Castlevania parody. Dude, you can draw. What the hell are you talking about, dude? I've seen your art. You can draw just fine. And I think it'd probably be better to reframe it as, you're not confident about your art ability, yes. Not at the level I want. Well, there's always room for improvement, Jazz. Start out small, man. That's all you gotta do. And then finally, not enough hours in a day. I believe in you. And then the final level for the Time Wizard. My game is about rectangle people with no arms and tiny feet. You can do it, man. Yeah, I agree, Jazz. You got this. You got this, girl. I believe. Yeah, I got some crazy levels for the Time Wizard. That's all in the game right now. So if you, whenever you get it, that's definitely in there. You can play all that stuff. Yeah, Jazz, you just got to start somewhere, man. Everyone starts somewhere. And besides, I saw you drawing art for Tyler's stream. You can do it. I believe. You just got to figure out what you want to do. Dude, if Jazz makes a game, I am so being the first person to buy that. I would play whatever the hell that is. Same thing, man. I'm already ready to throw money at Brent for his game. I'm excited. Oh, hush. His is pixel art. You telling me you're not going to do pixel art for yours, too? You could paint it, honestly. That wouldn't be that difficult. It would just, you would need a scanner to scan it in, and then you can go from there. You may also alternatively be able to pay an artist to do stuff. But you would have to do the programming unless you'd pay somebody to do the programming, too. I mean, you can offload whatever you want, but it would be really interesting to see what you would make. That would be super funny. I would love it. I want pretty, not blocky. Is blocky not pretty too? God, Jazz, what are you trying to say? Are you like Shapesist or something? Damn, I didn't know you felt that way. Can graphics be updated later? Of course they can. Of course they can. It depends on how much work you put into it and what you want to do, but yeah, you can update graphics later. Honestly, my best advice to anyone doing game design would be to just start out drawing anything and then go from there, and then try to make something. If you're going to make your dream game, what would that be, Jazz? Yeah, I was also curious. I don't want to, yeah, I was curious. I was curious to see what that would look like. And then here, I'm going to, while Jazz is typing that, I'm just going to think about anything else that I potentially need to do mandatorily before my update. Idealistically before my update, and then after. I can't type it out. Okay, gotcha. That's fine. I'll ask it later then. Then we can talk about it. Because I'm sure you could pick up programming relatively easily. If you can do the Excel spreadsheet stuff for accounting, I'm sure you have the capacity for it. I'm ready for Stardew 3.0 horror game, Spellsworn, whatever it is you decide to make. I think that's relatively... idealistic would be new trailer. New trailer for Jump Off the Bridge. But that's something that can come after. Skyrim, PoE, is that Path of Exile, and Stardew. Now, this is a very interesting collection of games. Skyrim's a big game. But that is exciting to think about. So I imagine it would be 3D then? Is that what your goal is? Yeah, I know. Big game. Should the moon be a normal or cheese? I think everything should be cheese, but you should have lore for it. There should be a reason why it's cheese. Also, I love the way you spell cheese with a Z as well. Yes, for 3D. Okay, interesting. 3Ds, please. Cheese Lake. You could cheese everything. Everything could be cheese. There could be a whole Addo cheese planet, basically. Now that you're talking about it. Yeah, new trailer for Jump Off the Bridge would be awesome. My other idealistic too is maybe we should do categories. Yeah, we gotta do some categories here. Let's do, because it would be cool. Can we? Yeah. Nacho cheese rivers, that's a good idea. I mean, we have mustard crystals, so cheese water shouldn't be that unrealistic. That's also true. The Addos aren't confined to the realm of humanity. They can do whatever they want. Let's do YouTube for idealistic, because I want to do my hiking video that isn't totally relevant, but kind of. I want to do like a self-doubt video. Not totally relevant, but also those are like my... Actually, maybe I should put this under future and after. That makes more sense. Yeah, for those. Okay. Hiking video, self-doubt video. Or maybe I should call this like the art therapy video. I gotta do the Addo video too, which is pretty simple. I just gotta cut that out of there. New trailer for Jump Off the Bridge. Yeah, I'm trying to think here. Technically, my music is related, so maybe music preview on YouTube. because January. I release my stuff through Emu Band, and they don't get back till January. I think they're on Christmas break already for album release stuff. And then I have to consider mix and mastering too. But even just doing anything is still better than nothing. Okay, so main jump off the bridge stuff. Steam extension, achievement, gives me access to achievements. I can do Steam features. All the purple levels need to be finished, which there's like 5 or 6 of them now. And then whatever other purple levels we get done, we gotta do. Level editor, end level, yeah, transition or something. That would be nice. Idealistic would be like a level select or something. Steam Workshop support. World support, I guess, would be idealistic for this. Menus would be idealistic. I'm not going to entirely focus on that. I think it's important that as long as I show people I'm working on it and then we continue working on it, showing up each day for it, that is my ultimate goal for that. Because the level editor, I wasn't expecting to get done immediately. But it was something in my original Steam page. Oh, that's what we should do. Idealistic update Steam page. Actually, maybe that should be the mandatory minimum. Update Steam page information. Yeah. And we also have to do update Steam notification art. We got to do some kind of notification with art for it. Having trouble with making a smooth animation for the moon's orbit. That's interesting. Couldn't you just use the same code that you used to show the selection around the Earth to make the moon just orbit around the Earth? In the same way? Because doesn't it just spin? You just have to set the center of the sprite offset or something? It's actually been years since I've used Scratch, so I don't know how you do that in Scratch. There's got to be a better way to word this. Steam news update. So maybe we'll do like a Christmas themed Time Wizard capsule image. It'll be the gift to myself and the players. It would be better if I just make it be in place then. Yeah, you could do that too, honestly. I guess. Is IG, I guess? I thought it was something else for some reason. I guess it would be good. Okay. IG. I didn't think people use I guess that often. Thank you, Addo. I thought I knew my my text speak quite well, but apparently not. When I see IG, I think Instagram. Yeah, kind of similar for me. Yeah, IG is also Instagram. Okay. I kept thinking IG, but I was like, I get the sentiment of what you're saying, but I just didn't immediately know what the acronym was, so. Okay. Okay, so yeah, looking at this game, we have keys in the game now too, which means that we need to have the keys so people can get keys. I use it as I guess too. Okay. Potentially buyable key in city. I think that's pretty good. I think I can achieve my mandatory relatively easily in the next plus or minus 15 days. And the idealistic we can save for immediately after the update or whatever if I don't get to any of that stuff. And then if my goals are too big, then I will take a note from my book about perfectionism and then cut them in half. And if they're too big, I'll cut them in half again. And if they're too big, I'll cut them in half again. Until eventually I accomplish one of them, and then I'll set a new goal. And then we'll cut it in half again, if I can't do it. Okay. So that's cool. We still have some time. Save list. Sorry, 22,000 people. I'll fix that in a second. Saved list. What does that actually do for them? What does it prevent them from doing, Jazz? I'd be very curious to know. 22,000 people. Okay. And then, so, assuming that it tells them that they owe me money, that's pretty great. You probably need to split it into, that's a big number, to the 10th by 38th scientific notation pieces. What even is that? It's like 340 million. Yeah, you probably need 340 million. Okay. I think this is relatively good. So then theoretically, actually afterwards, we're also pretty quick. We're pretty close to Twitch affiliate, so we want emoticons for that. And then maybe some kind of channel point rewards. So if you have any ideas for channel point rewards, let me know. Just has to finish processing. Awesome. It's in the hands of the computer now. It's not your fault. 128 cuts. Just 128. Yeah, so I'm not going to focus on these stuff. These will be my secondary or tertiary. You have so many ideas for channel point rewards. Awesome. I'm curious to hear them later when you have time to type them out. Because I know Tyler does like the random noises and stuff. I probably will do something like that, but I'll message you not now though. Okay, got it. Man, my favorite words when I was watching Tyler earlier, like when he started streaming first, was him eating the raw egg. I don't know if I would do that one, but that was really funny to me. I don't know if I want any of that, like, crazy, outlandish stuff. I was trying to think of something, like, if I was going to do something for my stream, what would the rewards be? But we can think about that later. If it happens, it happens, and we'll deal with it when it happens. Let's try to work on what's within our immediate locus of power to begin with. Okay, so assuming that, well, let's look at where we're at right now. So, where we're at. So right now we have, for this update, about 10 levels. 10 levels. And then like 5 of those are pink that need sound. So I have about 10 levels. I'm pretty content with that. I was just trying to go into it with the expectation of at least breaking the curse of having an update. So any update at all is going to satisfy that goal. Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room, a rubber room with rats, and rats make me crazy. And they were crazy rats too. And don't worry about the crazy rats. But then they told me there wasn't any rats and that I imagined the rats. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm a schizophrenic. Okay. So we got about 10 levels. Basic level editor. Oh, actually for idealistic, adding more level editor. Schizophrenia, my beloved. Adding more level editor items would actually be pretty nice. And then probably undo button, and then eraser button probably. Maybe redo. Maybe a redo button. Level editor items, undo, eraser button. Oh, preview. Actually, no, this is mandatory. We have to do this. Level editor. Sketch control preview. I want something that like sort of explains what buttons you have to press, because it'll be a mouse driven menu. So add a thing that makes whatever object connected to it move. That is much more difficult to do, but I will consider that. That is much more, it's difficult to do the sort of modular type stuff like that. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but that's a later down the line thing. Interesting idea though. I'm assuming you mean like a joint connection type of thing. Yeah, it's well. I'm assuming. Okay, I'm trying based off of your comment. I'm assuming you're talking about like um, add a thing that makes whatever object connected to it move. So you're talking like a moving platform or something like that, where you're talking about because like if I make a moving platform, then every object that would interact with it has to also have programming to support that. So like I would either I don't know I'd think about that. It'd take more time. That is much. It's more difficult to do things like that. That modularity. Because right now everything reacts with gravity, and I can affect that gravity, and I can change their x and y and stuff like that. But if I want something more modular, I have to deal with that later. Okay, so basic. Okay, right now we're at the basic level editor. 10 levels. Oh, all right then, yeah, yeah. You can explain your idea more, but I think I get the gist of what you're saying. Obviously, correct me if I'm wrong. If you can give me like an example of like connecting like a grass block to something, or that would help too. Basic level editor. Um, 10 levels, 5. Ping needs sound. And then we're gonna have Steam trading cards done and implemented. Oh, and then portraits for all characters. New fonts may need resizing. That is also a mandatory thing. The translations. Ensure all text is properly translated. That will take a chunk of time. It's basically going to be me copy and pasting text into my program and then taking the Google Translate. And later, idealistically, we need to contact real translators. But before we do that, we need a document with all dialogue / text. Okay. Portraits, new fonts. Okay. This is pretty good. This is kind of what our update is like. Sketch to look out. Oh, and then new menu as well. New menu. We need to actually mandatory. We need to finish menu previews. Finish menu previews for easy mode at least. If you had a mushroom that would launch you in a direction based on which side you touched. Okay, that's relatively easy. I can keep that in mind. Like I said, once I get the mandatory minimum stuff done, if I have any extra time, we'll work towards the idealistic stuff. And then if not, that's all stuff I can do relatively easily the following days, weeks, months, sort of thing, for adding specific things. I feel like each update I'll probably add items in the level editor, but that level editor will be years. Hey, don't jinx it, Addo. I'm trying to be faster than the years, but we'll see. No, I'm pretty confident as long as I keep showing up. That's what's most important. That's all I have to do is show up. Doesn't matter how much I do. I just have to show up each day. Maybe even decades. Well, we're not going to go that far. Smile. It's like a mischievous smile is what that is. Maybe even decades. Agree with that, mate. Yeah. Yeah, the most important thing isn't the perfectionism of doing a certain amount every day. It's just showing up. As long as I show up every day, when I obviously, barring certain events, but as long as I show up as much as I can, then that's all that matters. Actually, that's sort of something that works with my ideology too, because I have been showing up more and more and more and more and more and more and more. So I have like a document that I've divided into like mind, body, spirit, and so I show like every day I sort of show up and do like more and more. Yesterday we're slacking, so today we got to do some exercise. But I've been trying to keep my calisthenics work, and then I have stuff for the other two categories as well. Been showing up more and more. Just got to keep showing up. That's what's important. And that document, that spreadsheet exists sort of as like a as data, because I think that in order to make decisions, it's important to have data and information. I can't know, and similarly for the journal thing, I can't know where I'm going unless I know where I'm at, sort of thing. And I think that data helps with that. Okay. I'm pretty content with this. If we did literally nothing for the next 15 days, we would still have the 10 levels. We would still have the basic level editor. We would still have the seam trading cards. Well, I actually have to fix them before I get that. But the new portraits are in, new fonts, new menus in. Okay. I should also put, I think that, turn off unfinished levels so that players cannot get access to them. Oh, and then probably check level transitions. And then we should also consider for idealistic video playing through and beating all new levels. But this should probably come out a couple days after. Maybe even a week after release, because I don't want to spoil the levels for people. I can also consider a preview vid for version 2.6, maybe showcasing some of the new stuff, sort of just showcasing portraits and then the levels and some other stuff. It's pretty good. Levels, yeah, and then the menus with text explaining each. Yeah, I kind of want to do it like, what's his face just did it. I think Vintage Story just released like a pretty big update, and they had a really simple video. I want to do something like that. Yeah. They did a pretty simple video where it was just showcasing like this with font. This is kind of what I'm thinking of doing for something similar for my update. Showcasing each of the things and just having like a comparison between old and new. I need to buy this game at some point, man. They just keep adding stuff to it. It's amazing. Yeah, this is Vintage Story. It's not on Steam. You have to buy it through the developer's website, but it's kind of like a Minecraft type game, but it has like some other more like realistic aspects to it. It's like a slower paced game, I guess is the best way to put it. Because you have to like, you can't just, you know, take the clay and put it in your inventory in like a pot shape and make a pot. No, you have to like build the pot. You have to put it in a kiln. You have to like actually chisel the pot in like a certain way. Like it's a much slower game, but they had like a really giant update recently, and the color, they finally fixed the color. It doesn't look like this drab, disgusting land anymore. It actually has got more life into it. They changed the hue and saturation or something. But yeah, I like this video. It just pretty simple, explains like what the thing is easily, and then showcases the footage and then shows the comparisons between them. So that should be relatively easy to make. Yeah, it looks very cool. It's a cool game. It's a really cool game. I love watching people play it because some people do some like interesting challenges for it. It looks like a Minecraft texture pack. It looks like it, but it is a more difficult game. It doesn't have as much of the content, but it does have modding and stuff like that. So it's a cool game. Definitely going to pick that up at some point. I can't remember how much it is. It's probably around like $30 or something, like $20-$30, but I believe it has online play and everything like that. But yeah, I probably want to do something like that. Old versus new comparison. Okay, that's idealistic because it can come out after I do the update. The most important thing is just getting the content out there. I think that's pretty much it. So that actually organizes my thoughts quite a bit. And so we still have some time to just work on the levels, most importantly. And then off camera, I'm going to tackle this Steam extension thing, because that's just a bunch of reading, stumbling, falling. I think you have a well-organized list. Thank you, Brent. I think I do too. Like I said, my minimum for the update was just to release whatever I had. So, and we're doing pretty good. Seem like the mandatory is your top priority. Yeah, mandatory is my top priority for sure. I still have a little bit of time, so I'm going to probably just program some like random stuff today. We're going to continue working on the sand level and things like that. And then if Fzzy comes in, I do want to play his game. I feel like I should wait for him to actually be here before I play it, because I'm sure he'd want to watch that. But I don't know what he's doing. I didn't plan it or anything, so. I just kept talking about how I was going to play it. But then I was like, oh, wait, I don't know when he's up or where he lives or how he's going to whatever. But so I think that's pretty good. The only actual, so this is in quotes for mandatory. Yeah, hopefully he stops by. I hope so. If not, I'll just wait for him. Not a big deal. Hopefully he stops by. So yeah. The only actual mandatory thing on this list, like the imperative thing, is probably just this, really. If I did nothing else, this is the only actual important thing. Because the game crashes if I don't have all the text in there, so that's the only actual thing that's mandatory. Because everything else, I mean, even if people played the unfinished levels, it wouldn't matter. They just, whatever. This wouldn't matter if it was there. It would just show the default level. This actually is kind of imperative so that they can actually make it to the correct levels. I keep clicking. I keep the wrong thing. Steam extension, I can probably release it without. Oh, actually, main mandatory thing. Forgot about it. Pay Game Maker for license, because Game Maker keeps changing their license. And to do the commercial release license, it's like $100 now. So, in the past, I've bought like other things for Game Maker Studio, and then they switched to the subscriber model for like 2 years. But then they were like, oh, at the end of they were gonna give everyone that had like the full thing free for 2 years. But then I was about to pay the subscriber thing. Then they're like, no, we're getting rid of the subscriptions. We're just gonna go free, and then you pay $100 if you want the license to release commercially. It's like, okay, whatever, fine. So I gotta pay for commercial license for that. This is also actually mandatory, because I do not want to get in legal dispute with Yo-Yo Games. Yeah, I'm glad they got rid of it. I am too, honestly, dude. I did not want to pay monthly for that. I actually hate the monthly stuff. Thank you, Opera. Okay, Opera is not sponsoring the stream. I don't use the Opera browser, but thank you for running a great company. I am totally fine paying for the commercial license, and I have no problem paying for the monthly stuff for consoles when I go to do consoles. I have my Xboxes to port this to. Actually, we should put that under the future. We should probably do the Xbox release. I've been teasing that for a long time. I have the dev kits for Xbox. I've just been squandering my opportunities and twiddling my thumbs. So we should definitely do Xbox release after, somewhere around there. And then maybe we'll look at the Mac OS. I know I'm going to have to spill some blood to make that happen, since, Mac demands sacrifices, but we'll get there for that. I think that's pretty good. That is actually, it's a pretty small, it's like I think it's similar to Linux market. Actually, Linux is probably bigger than Mac now. I don't know. You have Xbox? Yeah, dude. Bro, I do have them. I do. I was always thinking about console ports for my games. I have no idea how that works. Yeah, so the basic information I can give you is, you just reach out to Microsoft, you sign a contract, they send you the stuff, and then you can do it. The problem is that when I did it, and this is going to sound like an excuse, but right when I was about to do it, the Xbox release, they dropped, I think it's called UWP. That was like the original support they had, Game Maker had for Xbox. It was like Universal Windows Program or something. So I actually did have the game running on Xbox, But then they were going through a bunch of Game Maker stuff, and they dropped UWP, and they moved over to a new system, and I just didn't learn the new system yet, or what like the compiler needed, or whatever. So, and that means that I also have to pay for a console license. So I was also, I mean, part of my thinking was like, well, I should probably wait till I have the game in a better state before I do it, because I wanted to keep well, it's mandatory for me to keep the updates between my games consistent. It should be that way too. Like I should have, whenever I update PC, I should also update Xbox. So, and I think that this game is looking more and more polished, especially with the new menu system in there. And I think, although it's unstable, I think I have less bugs in this as well. I mean, the character portraits alone make the game look more like an actual, game rather than just like the text and stuff. So, hope I can do the same with mine. Awesome, yeah, dude. Yeah, I can show you some of the stuff in the background when I'm working on it. I'll probably have to set up the Xbox behind me or something, but we'll do that for sure when I get to that. But yeah, we're getting closer and closer to stuff. I got everything I need, really. It's kind of just a matter of sitting down and doing it. It's the discipline that I've been struggling with, I think. And the perfectionism, for sure. But I'm feeling pretty good about this. And even if I'm not feeling good, as long as we show up, that's all that matters. Progress over perfection. Show up, get a few things keyed in, and then we're good. And we'll keep going. As long as that happens, then we're moving in the right direction. So yeah, Xbox release probably after. I gotta figure out all this stuff. Hey, we be closer, dude. Successful indie game dev step-by-step process, the roadmap. Show up for your game. Yep, show up for your game, show up for your art, show up for your passion. That's what's most important. Just show up. Okay, I think this is pretty good. I can't, if I look at the game a little bit longer, maybe I'll see something. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, we just gotta sound up the levels, see what orange levels we can tackle. I have some I really do like, and I would really like to be in this update, but it's okay if they're not. Like, I have a new version of my original version of the game, but I also feel that this level would be more meaningful if I actually put the original version of my game in this game, perhaps in the arcade or something. So I got thoughts about it, but yeah, to have a newer version of that. I also have to fix the car collision. It's a little weird right now. So we got some stuff for sure. On the sandcastle level, I did actually take your suggestion, Brent, and made it so that it unmolds when the wave hits it. Well, actually, that was because I was standing on it. It collapsed. Yeah, let's see if I can. I think the best way to do this level currently is to like make a small mound. Do that. Oh, I fucked up. Okay, this level was more challenging than I thought. But you can see it unmold there. And then, yeah, nice one, dude. I hope it works in the spirit of your level. It definitely does. That's why I liked your idea so much, because it adds this progression sort of thing. Honestly, the level is relatively playable. It obviously needs some like tender love and care, I guess is the best way to put it. But it does actually work in the spirit of the level, because I like that, my idea was sort of like this, well, this idea of like building sandcastles and the wave washing it away sort of thing. This like temporariness of life and art and things like that. So it fits that like the wave, this like nature force sort of splashes and like unmolds your art, but then you can like add more sand to it and then like work on it again sort of thing. So it actually works even better, because then it's like, that it's about the temporariness, but also about the fact that you can refine things you make. So it definitely works. It worked really good. Actually, I was kicking myself last night because I was like, God damn, that was such a good idea from Brent. I was like, I only hate that I didn't think of it, but I also appreciate that we have like a little community thing going here, and everybody sort of adds different ideas. I was like, God damn, I should have thought of that myself. Brent got that one on me. It was good. Yeah, 10%. Yeah, you used it today. Holy shit. 10%. 10%, man. Oh my god. That was fucking funny. Yeah, sweet. Okay. Yeah, this level's pretty close. I obviously will do the water rise. What do I want to do next, though? How long did I yap? I just want to check. Oh, wow. Okay, we're about an hour in. Damn, time's going fast, dude. Okay. Yes. Yes, I am. I'm yes, and yes, I am. Yeah. Okay. It's been an hour. Yeah, I know, dude. It's crazy. I was looking at I was like, man, I don't know how long I've been here, but I've been thinking. So it didn't feel like an hour has passed, but yeah, an hour's passed. Okay. I feel like I'm going to do like a smorgasbord of different things today. Wait, it was an hour already. Yeah, guys. Time is passing. Hold on, let's stare at the clock a little bit to slow it down. Actually, one of the things I thought was interesting that I learned through Andrew Huberman's podcast was he was talking about how the dopamine it was linked to your eyes in the same way, kind of like a camera, basically. That the faster you blink, the faster time goes. It's sort of like frames per second. And the slower you blink, the slower time goes. So if we just sit here, keep our eyes open, and watch time as much as we can, it'll be slow. But like when you're doing things you really enjoy and it has increased dopamine, then the perception of time is much faster. Because essentially the frames per second of your reality are increasing with every blink. So that's something I tell when I had a really funny story about this when I was in Mackinac or something. I think, yeah, when Jade and I were in Mackinac, I was talking to this worker and he's like, oh man, like I got a couple more hours of my shift because we were at like a store. I was like, well, if you just keep blinking fast enough, it'll go by faster. And he's like, really? I was like, yep, it's tied to your dopaminergic system. So just keep blinking. If you blink super fast. And then he was like, oh, I didn't learn that in school. I was like, school is pretty useful. I've learned more from you in these 5 minutes than I did in school. I was like, that actually sucks. Me crocheting last night, I blink and it's midnight. Yeah, yep. Makes sense. You're having fun. Dude, you crochet? I did not know that. That's awesome. Super funny. Interesting. Reminds me of a game. I can't remember what it's called, but basically it uses your camera to look at you and tells you stories of your life. But if you blink, it skips years or something of your life. That's interesting. I also do know that that the perception of time changes as you get older, and I believe what I had read is that the reason your perception of time changes is because you have less first, like you have less novel things that happen, and so you have less moments that you gauge from distance-wise when you look at your timeline, sort of thing. Like you have your first X, your first Y, your first Z, and so you go through these first, and then you have less novelty, and then so that affects your perception of time. And so yeah, when you're so I don't know what that says. Like, should you have more first when you're older? Yeah, you should be novel as possible. Just do every drug at least once. No. Like, what is the encouragement there? No, but I heard that. I thought that was really interesting to think about. But I also feel that through just my journaling and stuff, that sort of grounds me more in the present moment. It makes me feel less like time is passing super fast. I mean, as I'm counting down these days, bro, the days are almost like getting longer, if that makes sense. Like, I'm counting down towards like when I'm gonna do my update, and so I'm really conscious of the time right now. It's not entirely stressful. I'm like anxious about it, I imagine, because it's been like 2.5 years since I've had an update, and I want to like, do something awesome. But I know that those feelings, the most important thing is to just engage with having something. It doesn't matter what it is. So the expectation I'm creating is like this, essentially like this unnecessary, actually, I should say the anxiety that I have is an unnecessary emotion that's predicated in a future of a hypothetical reality that I can't predict, essentially. And that's all anxiety is. It's that I'm focusing too much on the future, the outcome, rather than being in the present moment. And I noticed that some other emotions are like that as well. They never reside in the present moment. they reside in different moments. Like regret is something that it primarily lies in the past. So if I'm focusing too much on the past or like going over memories and things like that, then I'm feeling like more regret or, doubt and things like that. If I'm gauging my current self today and my capacity based on my past and mythologizing those aspects of my past into my current self, then that also inhibits that. So I just have to remain grounded. So I would say the days thing does ground me in a way, and then also I just need to acknowledge that. Those are some of my thoughts on that. Kind of weird temporal conversation, but some of the things I'm thinking about. Yes, sir. I crochet and paint for creativity. It's a fun idea. Probably kind of difficult, but I've been seeing more of these people making these claymation games. It would be interesting to see a game where all the art was crochet. Obviously, so like they have a game like Kirby's Yarn World or whatever, and they kind of did like a yarn thing for it, which was kind of funny. But it would be cute to see like crochet characters doing stuff in a 3-dimensional world. You would probably have to set up like a rig that would take pictures of the crochet characters, and then you'd have to spin them around and take a picture of every side or something. I'm not sure if that would be sprite based. I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I used to do claymation as a kid, so I do think about doing a claymation project at some point. Sounds like a lot of work. It is a lot of work, dude. It would be a lot of work. It would be aesthetically interesting. It'd be probably quite rewarding. Yeah, it probably would. The only disadvantage I could see immediately to that is that the animations would be like weird unless you put like wireframes inside the crochet creatures or something. Yeah, Unravel is kind of like that. Oh, interesting. I don't think I've heard of Unravel. Not real crochet, okay. It's called The Neverhood, and it was a fun, quirky puzzle game. I think I've heard of that, actually. Yeah, Unravel. Okay, I have seen this game before. That character's familiar. Now, what did you say, Brent? What was that game called? The Neverhood. I think I've heard of that. It's not on here. That game does sound really familiar. It's like an old PC game, isn't it? Yeah, bro, I have seen this. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is kind of what I was thinking of. It's old. Yeah, I've seen that. I've watched a playthrough of this. It's an old PC game. Yeah, it's really funny, though. Yeah, they did basically something similar where they took pictures of all these clay figures and then put them into a game, and it's actual clay. There was a guy recently that did a clay game that I thought was pretty unique. I was gonna buy it. I think it's on my wish list. Date added. I got like 700 things on my wish list, so I don't know if it's gonna be. Oh, it's this guy. Yeah. So he had this game. It was like his older game, which I was gonna get, but he released Judaro. This is the new one, and it's like kind of a mix between claymation and 3D and like figures. It's really unique looking. He took like a model and then like took a bunch of pictures of it, and then he has like clay figures and stuff. It's pretty strange. I was gonna get that at some point. People play it on stream. So, clay. Yeah, claymation is a lot of work. From experience, claymation's a lot of work. It was fun, but it's a lot of work. Games look like a lot of effort. Yeah, dude. I'm thinking of my old claymations. I'm like, oh god. Here, I'll pull them up for reference since we're talking here. My first computer game was Sprout's Adventure or something like that. Interesting. I don't know if I've heard of that before. The old. Takes 3 seconds to draw a pixel, remove it if you don't like it. I don't want to imagine trying to get the clay right. Yeah, it's work, dude. I think this was I went to a competition for like drunk driving or something. I made like a tiny ad to like against drunk driving? I can't even remember. Yeah, I think it was you had to make an advertisement about against drunk driving. My dog would snatch the clay. Yeah. Wow, I was in it back then, dude. I was in it. I was old as hell. Thought I had another good one. Yeah, I remember doing all the a masterpiece. Thank you, Brent. A pure art. I did all the amendments. It's just old, like. This is the most thrilling thing as a child. I had like dialogue and shit, man. What the? It's content, man. That's what it was. We did pretty good. Yeah, the problem with the claymation too, depending on what clay you use, like the clay warms up as you keep molding it over and over again, which is something you don't really think about when you're like, oh, I'm going to do a claymation. But when you're doing it over the long period of time, like it keeps warming up, and then it gets softer and softer, and then it doesn't hold its shape very well. So obviously that's why like most of the modern claymation stuff, they have like wireframe structures and stuff in there, and they use like harder clays and things like that. But that was always a problem with claymations. Like the longer you do it, it's like, okay, well, I can't do this anymore because then everything's like floppy and soft. And then yeah, it was interesting though. And then you don't want to bump the camera. That was also a problem. Otherwise, the whole scene shakes. So you gotta have a way to like make sure the camera's in the right position. It's fun, but it is very, very labor and time consuming. But you get a cool piece of art out of it. So makes you think about animation too, quite a bit, because you're doing literally every frame. So in a tangible space as well. Like I was thinking about that even for I think I've mentioned before the like rules of animation thing, the like squash and stretch type stuff. Those are really useful, and I was using that a little bit for I wonder why these closed. I must have hit something. I was using that for part of my sprites. I think it was the hammer and chisel. Interesting animation stuff. Because I was like, okay, I have the rear back animations, but with like a shake. And then the distance between this, though it's great, it adds more power to like immediately have it. So I have the hit onto the chisel, and then after it's like a slow sort of thing. So it turned out okay for the hammer and chisel. I kind of like how it looks, but just things like that. I could probably squash and stretch it a little bit more. I could probably even add like a some sort of trail wave to this. Like if I did like some kind of thing like this, it would probably look pretty good to indicate the like movement sort of thing. Honestly, that's not that bad. Let's let's leave that in there. Honestly, let me put a layer on that. It was kind of random, but it looked pretty okay. I'll keep it like that. I'll change it later, but it's fine for now. Yeah, I could probably do something better, but I'll keep that in there in mind. I don't have the hammer and chisel doing anything yet. Dude, Fzzy's here. Do you want us to play your game? I kind of want to. Way to call me out. How am I calling you out? Talking about for your game? I was waiting for you. I was like, whenever he comes up, I'm going to be ready. So if you're ready, if you want to watch, I'm ready to play it. We're going to give it we're going to send it. I'm going to 100% your game. All 9 levels. Less than 10 minutes, you're on. Let's do it then. It'll be an experience. I'm pretty excited for it. I don't think you have a category on Twitch for this. I'm gonna go into the Zombies Ate My Neighbors category. Jazzberry. Dance. Cowboy dance. For some reason I don't have the heat on, but it's getting hot in here. Okay. Sweet. Let's just do it, dude. I gotta call Fzzy out, man. 3 months for this game, I'm ready. Alright, guys. Get ready for Zombies Ate My Femboy. I love the title. There's a lot of plot here. I appreciate the plot. Can we full screen this? Okay, no settings menu. Fzzy, I'm deducting points. Zomfem. Zomfem is what it is. I don't see a volume slider. Okay. Nope. What the fuck? Enter doesn't work. What are the controls? Is that a click? I approve of the big personalities of the characters. That's good. Do I click left click? Space? Oh, it's space. Okay. Alright, we got a choice between the femboy with the gun or the furry. Honestly, we're furry maxing for sure. Get ready to tuck it back. Dude, I actually love this effect. That's great. Space. Okay, okay. How do I... Oh, okay. Is this too loud for you guys? Is this good? I think it should be good. Oh, dude, you can shoot behind... Okay, wait. I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. This is so embarrassing. It shouldn't be embarrassing, dude. You gotta be proud of this. You can always go back and fix it later. Oh, we can click women. Okay, women are points. It's empowering is what it should be. Empowering? I actually love the little skull animation. That's great. Okay, we're collecting women for points. I don't see an indicator for our points, though, Fzzy. How do I know how many points I have? Is that at the end of the level? I want to see the number get bigger. It's part of my caveman brain. Okay, I got hit. I took damage. I didn't get to see what the damage animation was, though. Okay, it's like your arms wave. Ultimate male fantasy. Collect all the girls, too. Yeah, this is harem simulator. 9,000. Bare minimum stuff. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's content is what it is. Okay, I'm getting... This guy's tagging me, bro. Okay, their collision seems to be at the bottom of their feet, so let's aim for that. Collect women. Collect keys. Golden women. Can we open this? Can we lay in bed? Okay, nothing. Got it. Got all these women, but we can't lay in bed. What the fuck is that, Fzzy? Come on. Oh, we can freeze them. I don't know how I got this. I think I saw it somewhere. Oh, wait, can we change our weapon? Guns are in trash cans. Okay. I'm hitting E, but it's... Oh, I guess because my gun is 0. That's why. What is this? Oh, dude, we have a fucking rocket launcher? Okay, if I can aim it. Nice. Dude, I love this dog. Let's take a visit to the dog. Oh, I can't. Maybe I gotta break that open. Okay, we need our normal gun back. The normal gun is the best gun. Okay, we got keys. Let's just avoid the zombies for now. I don't know what that is. I guess maybe it's like a machine gun or something. It looks like a pot. Okay, gotta aim for the feet. Alright, can we go in this house? Yes, we can. Hell yeah. Cooking mama, baby. Get in the rocket launcher. Does the rocket launcher have, like, a bigger radius or something? Okay, I'm getting absolutely destroyed, bro. I'm getting mogged. Okay, we gotta do this again. Dude, they ate me. Okay. This gun is the... Okay, we retain our ammo. That's pretty interesting. The bushes go down after like 5 hits. Okay. Don't worry, I'll figure it out too. You don't gotta spoil the content, dude. I promise I'm good at games. Dude, the dog is points too? Bruh. Okay, we need women with big personalities, empowering women. This lady's intelligent. She got an A on her report, so we're gonna collect her. We need intelligent women in our harem is what we're aiming for. Okay, actually shooting them from vertical is a lot easier than the horizontal because of the feet thing. Okay, collect our very intelligent woman. She's also intelligent because, Her skirt is the perfect calculated length to ensure that she doesn't get too hot or too cold. Alright, trash cans. We're gonna stock up on weapons. She looks like she'd do anything for an A. Okay, this door opens, but I cannot get inside this door. Is there a wall here I must break? No, okay. The door open. Can I get in this one? Yeah, I did go in this one, okay. She'd do anything for an A. She's committed, is what you're saying, Brent. I understand that. Okay, we can't exit this door. Perhaps it opens only from the bottom. No, it does not. Okay, interesting. Alright, we got some zombies to clean up over here. Super committed is my type of girl. We all like loyal girls in chat. Okay, there's gotta be... Oh, there's a gun here. There's another key. Oh, never mind. I just realized the keys open the doors. Duh. Okay, that makes sense. I guess maybe I... Okay, I wasn't looking because it's hard to see that up in the top corner. Do we get a new weapon? What is that? Fork? Oh my god, it's amazing. Okay, we'll save that. And the trash cans look like they respawn. Okay, yeah, we need keys. Okay, I figured it out. Okay, do we just gotta kill all the zombies now? I seem to have collected all of the big bountiful women here. I think the zombies just keep endlessly respawning. I don't remember what the completion state of a zombies ate my neighbors type level is. I hope I'm getting points for killing these guys too. I want to see that number get bigger at the end of the level. The animation for this is great, dude. You put a lot of work into that. Okay, whoa. Okay, we definitely do not want to be anywhere near a pool or colliding with these guys, like, at all. Oh, I did miss this lady. Okay. Boom. Give me this key. Oh, there's an exit door. Gotta get in there before we die. Okay, level 1 complete. We're much more capable. Werewolves in the warehouse. Awesome. Oh my god. Look at, she serves her country. That's even better. I love a dedicated woman. That was painful to watch. Why was it painful, dude? You should be having a good time. I'm having a good time. Okay, this corrosive acid. Boom. Get this jiggly woman. She's obviously a model of some sort. Okay, we're gonna prioritize using this. Dedicated women are where it's at. It's true. Whoa, shit, dude. Okay. Luckily, he's blocked by the door. Sucks to suck. Okay, it clearly takes a lot of bullets for this guy. Let's use the... Oh! Okay, let's get in here. Okay, we definitely don't want... Okay, this is like the best weapon, hands down. Because these guys, like, they collision stop you. They, like, block you. Look at this guy. Okay, he's dead. Dunzo. Sucks to suck. Werewolves in the warehouse. I absolutely adore the animation for the werewolves. Okay, we ran out of the best weapon. Luckily, this guy, he's stuck on the trash can. It's probably because he identifies with trash in some way. The werewolf only eats garbo. Okay, I think that is Oh, let's use this now. Rocket launcher seems like it's made for, like, the bigger enemies. Because it has the disadvantage of, like, shoving us into the wall, so... Okay. We have a couple doors. I was trying to see if we got any other beautiful women to pick up here. Oh, we got the exit. Okay. But what if I'm not ready? Oh, shit, I died. Okay, let's do it again. Hello, Thomas. Welcome. How are you today? We're playing through Fzzy's game right now. Zombies Ate My Femboy. Actually, maybe I should change the stream title to that. %ing it is what we're aiming for. What a game. Yeah, look at dude. It's got women. It's got zombies. What else could you want? Dedicated women, too. This one's a model. We got 1,000 points for each. This one's a cook. Okay. There's actually not that many women on this level. Yeah, how are you doing, man? I sent my sound to you last night as well, that you asked for, the jump sound, so hopefully you got it. Integrated women. Integrated. I know this isn't the most ideal. Oh, here. Got this thing. Okay, let's get him blocked on this. One day till presentation. I can't wait. For some reason, I tried hitting Q to go backwards through the weapon cycling system, but it didn't work. Right, what am I doing here? I'm looking for the this. Okay, that did not kill him. In fact, he's just mogging me since there's like no invincibility frames. I'm getting absolutely destroyed. Okay, we just gotta ignore those guys. We don't have the capacity to kill them. Okay, let's go in here. I need a different room. Oh man, I might die here. Okay, let's get this chick. Okay. Okay, perfect. An intelligent woman I need to help lead this crusade against all these zombies. I admire their capacity to just stare completely unmoved by the fear of what's happening around us. All these dead people lurking. In the face of all evil, the women stand strong. Just a testament to their endurance and their big personality. Okay, there's one more chick somewhere. She's hiding on me. Okay, let's try to clear out some of these zombies. Okay. Maybe she's down here. This is kind of where I started, but maybe I missed her. This guy's kind of get me from the doorway, dog. What the hell? I saw the level exit last time, so I don't think I have not seen a health pickup yet. I don't know if I don't know if they come in the trash cans or something, but I'll keep checking the trash can. Okay, there's a lot of things over here. I got 1 HP. I'm still believing in my capacity. Okay, so the trash cans actually do save me, so gotta make sure that these guys don't get anywhere near. Can we kill this guy? I don't know if he's gonna respawn. Okay, he does die. If you have 1 HP, you're good to go. The only difference between winning and losing is the difference between 1 and 0. Definitely a quote misattributed to Richard Garfield, the creator of magic. I know because I use it as my final quote. Holy shit, I think this guy's faster than me, dude. So we don't want that. I think she's got to be in the top right, dude. I don't believe she's anywhere else. Okay, this zombie keeps dodging me. Look at dude, he's got high dexterity. God damn it. Okay. Again. Okay, speed run. Get the dog. Now I'm feeling... Yeah, I know, dude. I tried my best. The werewolf slapped me at the last minute. Maybe it was all the way to the right. Maybe I just didn't go... No, I remember getting the cooking chick. I know, dude. It's okay. The zombies ate my femboy. Okay, we got some clipping through here. There's a tile that's... Okay, this is just unfair. Oh! Can I bait him? Okay, I can. Alright. We'll start top right, and then we'll go from there. The longer we're on the level, the worse it is, because the zombies keep spawning. I don't know if they have a limit, but... Okay, this guy's stuck. Take advantage of it. He's stuck on the pickup? I don't know what he's stuck on, but he's gonna die. Never mind, Blaster does no damage. This is what does damage. Door camping is exactly what it is. They're trying to door camp my body. I need this lady. I need a bunch of strong, capable women to help lift me up. Finally, just like CS2, it is. This game is basically just Counter-Strike 2, frankly. Okay, okay. Alright, so now we're going to endeavor to go down here. Can we snipe him? Yeah, we can. Okay. Get the gun. Maybe we gotta check out this werewolf. Oh, there's a chick up here. Hey, hello, Mac, how are you today? We're playing Fzzy's new game that he just dropped on Steam. And then we're gonna go back to programming after I 100% it. How's your day? How's your game? I looked at your previews on Blue Sky. I don't have a Blue Sky account, I don't think, so I didn't follow yet, but just go in this AM. Just getting going. Gotcha. Sorry, I read that incorrectly. You're getting ready to face the day. I appreciate that. Yeah, it looked pretty interesting. I was looking at the, you had like a grid system set up, and you were testing some of the cards, I think. I couldn't tell exactly what the gameplay looked like, but I think it's bugged. Door should have popped up. Okay. Maybe it is bugged. I was going to say. Okay. How do we reset, Fzzy? There's no escape. We're in a loop. Alright, looks like 100%ing Zombies Ate My Femboy is going to be more difficult than I thought. But that's fine. Because I'm a gamer. Should we see the chick? Or the dude? The Femboy? Let's see if they have a smaller hitbox. Yeah, not much gameplay. Still building the core mechanics. Understandable. Okay. Let's play this game differently. Because the longer we're here, the worse it is for us. So we shouldn't faff about. Get in, get out. Pretty sure I have to get inside this. Perfect. Okay, looks like the chicks spawning are... I think they're random. I'm not entirely sure. I missed this cooking mom up here. I think it's because the door didn't reset after it popped and you died. It should work if you don't die, though. Fzzy's got day one patching to do. Hope you're sick, buddy, but there's work to be done. I made a game jam a few years back that was very similar to this game with zombies, although it was made in 48 hours, so I can't remember if the last level was even finishable. Fuck me. Day one patches. This is great. Zombies ate my neighbors on the SNES. May even still have the car. That's great. The cartridge, I think. Yeah, the cartridge, okay. Yeah, I thought he did a great job, honestly. I think it's pretty funny so far. I like the personality and the characters, and I know there's enemy variety, which I thought was particularly interesting in it. So that's what I'm enjoying about the game so far. For all its quirks, it is pretty fun so far. And I feel like you had a very reasonable price point of 99 cents. Because personally, when I try to price stuff, I do it like $1 per hour of content. That's kind of how I think about it. And I think I'm probably going to get about an hour of content out of this if I keep losing as poorly as I am. Okay, boom, level 1 done. We're getting better. Let's go through level 2. Boom. Okay, this time we're getting the best. I mastered level 1. Thank you, Brent. I'm feeling it. I think also the smaller hitbox... I don't know if the hitbox is different for this chick, but it feels like smaller. The furry character seems like much bigger. Alright, let's swap to the better weapon. Whatever this is, this thing cooks, dude. It cooks more than that lady cooks. Okay, we gotta clear some zombies out. Okay. We need to get more independent women. Okay, the zombie. Very intelligent class. Teacher. Beautiful model. Excellent chef. Get this late. Boom. We don't even need to deal with the werewolves. They're obsolete in the face of my skill now. The pheromones. Oh no. Okay, dog. We got the dog with us. I'm feeling more confident. Boom. I love the pharaoh theme so far. Okay. I'm going to check the bottom horizontally before I decide to ascend vertically, but I think this is like the entrance of you know, like a temple or something. The pheromones. I'm expecting a... Okay, we got mummies to deal with. Oh no, they took more than a couple hits. What is that? Oh, it's a spawner? Game just turned into Gauntlet. I don't think I can break the spawner. I love the spawner animation, dude. That's so good, them coming out of that. It looks like I can break it. Maybe I just need a better weapon. Thank goodness the mummy is completely clipped on his own box. No, I don't think I can destroy that. I feel like this many rockets would do something. Is it not one hit for these guys with the rocket? Damn, dude, these mummies are resilient. How many rockets does it take? I gotta worry about this shit if I go to Egypt? That's a lot to worry about. Okay, we definitely don't want to use slow-moving things if they do not do any damage. The only thing I'm incentivized to use is the thing that is the fastest that does the most damage. Actually, how much does the fork do? Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, are some of them weak against certain objects? I don't think so. But maybe. This is also one of my favorite things. I love this thing. You know, the projectile is destroying, but it doesn't seem to be having any effect. Locking on the pool. Pools are hazards. Do not go near pools. Okay, there's a lot of women locked in this tomb here. Okay, these guys, they're stuck. They're clipped. They're struggling. It seems like they can only move when a new mummy is spawned. I applied it to a blob enemy. Fire hydrant destroys blobs when they're frozen. Okay, that's cool. I'm excited to see the blobs then. Let's get in here. Get this poor teacher locked away in the crypts. The mummy animations are so good too. The walking is great. Did a beautiful job on that. I wish I had like a flamethrower. I could just burn these guys to crisp. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get out of here, ladies. Oh no, there's another person. Okay. Let's see if we can find her. Thought I scoured the map. Okay, we don't want to get body blocked by these guys. Get out of my way. It's gotta be... Oh, there's a dog. Okay. I didn't see the dog. Oh, there's two dogs. They look very concerned. Boom. Level 3. I think you said there's 9 levels. We're cooking. Clean up on aisle 4. Is this a supermarket? Beautiful. Bunch of women just trying to go about shopping on their day. How many hits does this guy take? Oh, he's immune. Oh, I thought I could, like, pop him. Okay. After a while, he just dies. Okay, okay. I was expecting, like, a glass shatter or something. There's a lot of... Dude, is that Sadako? I kind of want to see what she does. What does she do? Oh, she, like, locks onto you? Oh, she does kind of hit you. She doesn't have any... Kind of freezer? Okay, she's not immune. Oh, wait a minute. Is this a speedrun strat, dude? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. Oh, shit. Fzzy, I'm gonna destroy this hour of content you have here. Wait, I gotta see this guy first. What is he doing? I don't know what's happening. Maybe that's Sadako. Okay, it might be Sadako. Slime move is amazing. Where did that guy go? Okay, he's pretty easy to kill. Okay. I'm gathering knowledge. Level 5. 5 Nights of Zombies. I'm gonna route this game, dude. I swear to God. This is what the fucking rocket was made for, was speedrunning. Not for actual damage. Oh, I thought that was something I could walk through. Oh, damn, we got everything out here. Well, sucks to suck. I figured out how to play this game, so... Y'all ain't got nothing on me. That shark is never coming near my ass. Give me this lady. Why'd she go to heaven, dude? Love the little TV here. Oh my god, that's the Sadako spawner? That's amazing. Yo, get out of my way, dog. Okay, wait. Let's lure him to the top. Down. Boom. Oh, okay. So for some reason, for some reason you gotta keep holding the direction, otherwise it defaults to that direction. Okay, that's definitely Sadako doing that. We need this little puppy down here. Done. Man, I'm cooking, dude. I'm about to submit my speed run, bro. Tell me visions. Tell me vision. Okay, we don't want to get near Sadako. Pro plays with Cody. Hey, watch out. My gamer instinct. I actually fucking love this movement tech. I know it's probably not intentional, but it's great. Oh, dude, get out of here. The enemies are just secondary to the mission of getting these ladies under my harem. Boom. Chick was cooking on the grill. Oh shit. Audi. I'm clenching my butt because I'm like, he's gonna break it. I am breaking it, bro. Oh, break this game. Dude, I love how much bigger she is. We got a giantess here. If I break it, I'm starting right back up and I'm doing rocket tech the whole way. When does the anime come out, Fzzy? Yeah, when does the anime come out, dude? I'm ready. Death by Snooze, that's exactly what that is. Honestly, it's better if I break it, because then you'll be able to see exactly what broke it, and you won't just get some random Steam discussion thread of like, dude, your game is broken, it doesn't work, I want a refund. And then you'll be like, well, how did it break? And they'll be like, I don't know. I didn't record it, so I have no idea, basically. That's like kind of what the things are. Ooh, okay, we don't want to go down there. Oh, exit door. Okay. I don't know why that appeared later than usual, but level 8. Femboy football. I can't wait. Oh no, the howl. We don't want to deal with that. Okay, let's get this guy stuck on the collision since he's too big to fight me. Okay, we're almost out of rockets, so we gotta be sparing with our rocket tech unless we get some more rockets. Boom. There's a lot of people out for football today. This guy's trying to... I think there was somebody down here, wasn't there? Oh, there's trash cans. There's sharks, okay. At the 10-yard line. Boom, give me that. I need more rockets. Looks like the spawn is random. Actually, how long does it take for these to refresh? Can we watch it? I'm assuming like 10 to 20 seconds. Oh shit, we can't watch it. Oh, the sharks can teleport. That's interesting. They don't. Oh, I thought they did refresh. Maybe it's just when I died I saw them change. Or at least they shouldn't. Okay, I think maybe it's on death that it refreshes then. I must have I saw it differently. Okay, we got 30 more rocket shots. We're cooking now. Oh, even more rockets. Okay, we're getting lucky. Door. Boom. Final level, I think. Is it a boss fight? Is it a normal level? What is it? Oh, it's a boss. Okay. And I get to collect the ladies. Awesome. Okay, we're in a parking lot. I have not met the boss yet. Oh, there he is. It's a crab. I can't tell what's on it. What does it say on there? Oh, thank God it's finally over. Oh, fish fear me. Sorry. I was reading it upside down. I thought it was upside down for a second. Thank God it's finally over. Nah, dude, you did a great job. This is fun. I had a good time. I gotta beat the boss still, so we'll see how difficult he is. He's getting stuck on the collision, though, so... That's Cal Sapidus. He's a fellow programmer that helped me. That's awesome. Is he actually a big giant spider or crab like this? Whoa, whoa, whoa. My main gun does a little too much damage for this. This guy needs to be a bullet sponge, Fuzzy. Not like this. Not like this. He's done. It's so over. I'm gonna collect my dog and my dogs, dude. I got so many dogs, bro. Done. 100%. Nice. We need a Steam achievement. I'm gonna be routing this for world record. I will be the first and top for world record. No one will stop me. I know there's RNG because I'm gonna have to rely on if I can actually get the thing. Yeah, we're gonna be routing this. I'm not gonna do it right now, but we're gonna be routing this. I will have world record. It will be done. There's no way. I have to. This is content. Okay, we're at the mercy. Cody, please. You shouldn't be embarrassed, dude. This looks great. I'm having a good time. I am but a man. You are a man. And this is a game. And you have released it. I want world record, though. I'm going to be honest. I won't be routing it immediately right now. I do think it depends a lot on the RNG of whether you get the rockets. But I will be. I want like 10-minute completion time. I want to get sub 10. That's what I want. At minimum. That's like what, 2 minutes a level? I think I'm already behind. That's like a minute a level if I did sub 10. I'd be pretty good. Give me the door. It's gotta be soon. Oh, I miss this studious woman sitting in this house studying for that perfect A. Boom, we're out. I guess I should have grabbed that key in case I needed it. I think the women spawn in the same spot every time, so I think routing would be possible. Okay, repeat games, it's broken. It doesn't know. It didn't realize I completed the game and I wanted to play it again. I guess maybe you assume that after completing it, people wouldn't want to play it. But maybe that's a perfect end for this. So Fuzzy, you got some bugs. There's a few bugs. I did break the game. But it's good. I did enjoy it. That was really awesome. I will leave my Steam review later. Once I post my world record time. Because I had a good time with it. Yeah, it might just not be targeting the right room or something on refresh or something like that. But no, this is a blast. I had a great time. I'm ready for the next one. What are we looking at? 3 months? Are you gonna do 3-month dev cycles for these? Definitely probably fix this bug at minimum. And then maybe that level spawning exit thing that I wasn't able to get that last one, if that is actually a problem. But there's some weird feels. Yeah, it's always weird seeing somebody play your game, which is why I wanted to do it when you were here. Same thing for me when I watch people play my game. Like, they'll talk about things. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Or, oh, I need to fix that. Especially psychologically, players like face things in different ways. And so it's interesting to see how people face it. So if anybody does play your game, make sure not to like explain how to play the game or anything, because it's actually really valuable information to figure out how somebody perceives psychologically what's happening. Because the same things that they bring to games aren't going to be the same things you bring to games. So as a developer, getting in that headspace can be pretty interesting. I'm trying to think of a good example I had. Some of the players have done some weird things. Like, for example, when I was playtesting this level, I noticed that like a lot of players, some people that were playing the game forgot they could jump, but most importantly, they forgot they can throw. So a lot of the players weren't like from a distance trying to throw and attack the dragon. They would actually like walk all the way up to the dragon because they had forgotten the throw button, and then they would hit the dragon like that, and then they would go this way. And so to combat that, I tried adding like other things that could be grabbed, like these, but no one has like picked any of these up because they didn't realize that they could be grabbed. So I was like, okay, so I need to make a level where it has actual grabbing things. So I introduced this level, and then I need to make it like an actual thing that shows that you can climb these, sort of thing, just to show that there's like more functions, and there's like a throw thing, because obviously they have to clear their hand. So this was like, this guy asks you to pull weeds. So you have to pull the weed, and then you gotta throw it actually. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's pretty useful to watch people play the game. There's also a couple other things I did. I wanted like another jokey level over here to teach the ladder climbing better. So the first obstacle in this entire level is just the ladder climb. So like as a player, you come here and you're like, okay, well, I can't go there. I can't go left, but I have this ladder and I can't jump up enough. So I basically force them immediately to learn how to climb a ladder in this particular level. And that's also what Mario does as well. Here, I have like a basic Mario level, I think. I don't know if it shows exactly the same thing. But the first thing in Mario you see is like you see the Goomba. You see the Goomba without any blocks, and that's like the first interaction with the Goomba, and that's like part of one of the design philosophy things is to introduce an enemy step by step. So you introduce it like Nintendo does this a lot. It'll introduce an enemy in like a space that doesn't have any obstacles, and then it'll introduce the enemy with obstacles like blocks and things like that and how they interact. And then it'll introduce an enemy like in a more complex situation, particularly with other enemies or things like that. So that's something you can use when you're introducing certain enemies and things, and adding complexity is to think about like what the players are looking at and things like that. So, but yeah, no, that was fun, dude. I had a great time with that. That was awesome. We're gonna go to programming now, and then I'm gonna route that and put my my speed run on my YouTube, dude. So, and then we gotta put Addo's video on the YouTube too. Actually, let's add that to my list. Idealistic for YouTube in the next several days. I want to do Zombies 8 Femboy speedrun. I think that would be really funny. I don't think it would take me that long to at least do it. And then I want to do Addo. Find the Addo, cut stream, post, and then I also want to do my music, guitar playing, preview. So those are kind of secondary goals. They're not that important to the mandatory stuff, but I do want to do those because then that'll be fun. Okay, pretty good. Okay, then we'll go to. We will go to programming. What do I want to call this? I'm going to call it Smorgasbord. Okay, then we're going to go to software. Game development done. Yeah, just so you know, Fuzzy, if you you'll have to look it up, but what you can do is you can go online and there's a thing for Twitch categories, so you can make a Twitch category for your game. I would do that like soon-ish. I think other people can do it for you, but it's better if you, having all the information, the art, do it so that it actually has like a portrait picture for it. That way, if anybody does stream your game, you can click on the category and you can see the past streams of it. Because one of the things I noticed that was really beneficial to me is that like people will say the name of my game Jump Off the Bridge in different languages, and so it's more difficult to search for that. So one of the things that helped me was I could click on the Twitch category for my game and I could see past things of people playing like my game, because it was always the same category, but it was like I could see Russian people play the game, I could see other languages and things like that. And that doesn't give you as much feedback or input necessarily, because if you don't understand the language, you don't know what they're commenting on, but you can still watch them play it and you can see how they approach an obstacle or challenge, what they're getting stuck on. You can obviously see their emotions. Most emotions are kind of universal. Like if they're getting frustrated, they'll like yell and things like that based on like having trouble. If they're excited, obviously, you know, emotions are generally pretty universal with some caveats, obviously. Some expressions of things are going to look different in different languages, but the human experience is universal, I guess I should say. all games are equally frustrating when the person is raging and breaking their keyboard over their face. So you can tell. Some countries, I bet they break their keyboard over their face as a term of endearment, as a form of endearment, to show how much they love a game and how impassioned they are by the game. But generally, it's an indication of rage. So, okay. Yeah, ignore the buffaloes getting stuck on this. I'm leaving that as is. I don't know if I'm gonna fix that. I kind of like it, honestly. It doesn't affect the game. It doesn't break anything. It's kind of funny. Okay. So yeah, definitely good to keep in mind of. Okay, so we're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna tackle some things. Let's check the list real quick. So I'm just gonna do levels. I don't want to do keys on stream because those are secrets, and I would rather people find secrets. I don't want to rob people of that reward. Oh, let's do the parrot portrait. Let's do that first. Where the hell is this parrot at? Where's my boy? There he is. Okay, let's do the parrot portrait and update his text because that's just a thing to do. That isn't doesn't require too much mechanical stuff. Like the Steam extension is going to be a bunch of reading and kind of not necessarily boring, but because it'll be interesting for me. Portrait. I think we gotta make it 34 by 34 is what the size of my portraits are. I will confirm. We have this guy's portrait. 32 by 32. Okay, let's do that. I don't know why I was thinking such a weird number. All right. Okay. How do we want to do this? Let's start with the shape. Do that, and then we'll do like a beak layer. Whoop. He's kind of got like a flaccid looking beak. That's a pretty good shape. I'm pretty happy with that shape. I like this edge here. He's also kind of got a unibrow thing is kind of what I was thinking. Maybe face should be on another layer too. He's also got this beautiful whatever thing going on here. Maybe we'll make it go off screen. Come back down. Well, make sure this is on this layer. It's sort of like should be blockier, I think. Okay. Let's fill that in. Fill the beacon. We need to shape that a little bit more. Okay, I do like this. Let's I think birds have like a nostril thing here. It's been a while since I've held a parrot or whatever, but I went to one of my buddies' houses and they had this bird that they let out of the cage, and it's kind of fun. The bird is pretty funny. It'll just land in your hair and things like that. It was really bizarre. The only problem with it is it shits on everything. Everywhere. Nothing is... Yeah, it's everywhere. It shits while it's flying. It shits while it's sitting down. It's the worst thing. Foghorn Leghorn. Yeah, when you zoom in, that's true. It does have a bit of that energy. That's the only problem with birds. They shit on everything. So, nothing is spared. The world is their oyster. Well, I gotta make sure that I'm doing all. Actually, let's we can. No, I want the beak on a second layer because I'm gonna make the beak move, so it's probably better it's on a separate layer. Okay, let's put this back on this layer. Where did I have it? Like here. No, actually, what the fuck? Okay. Control Y. Okay, it's down here. Look, I did it again. And then it looks like I still have some stuff on this edge here that I accidentally put on this layer. Okay. Yeah, let's try to be conscious of the layers. I don't want to do that. Let's do for face. How do I want to do this? What does a bird eye look like? Let's look it up. I think it's just like a black nothing, right? Oh no. Yeah, it's kind of big and black. Looks like this. That's kind of what I'm thinking of. Okay. So they still have the pretty similar stuff, but let's try to keep that bird-like stare going on here. We'll add some shape to it because he's going to be kind of angry, so maybe I'll just do that. I'm going to give him a unibrow. He's not a happy hat merchant. Very unhappy hat merchant. Okay, maybe the shape of that a little bit. Okay, and it looks like we got a chest color a little bit. We'll add that down here. We'll do some kind of dithering for like a feather look to him in a bit, but let's get the basic shapes on. It might be too close to the mouth. Let's leave that down there. This probably needs to be over more because he's like facing you. Okay, and then we probably need a differentiation color so that we can show the beak is actually two parts. Since generally I think a line is shown. It's not totally necessary, but I was watching some videos on birds as well. There was this woman who I'm assuming was some sort of vet tech, and she was trimming an overgrown beak. I did not know that was actually a thing that birds could suffer from. But yeah, typically when they're similar to goats and all other like all the hooved animals share the same trait, where if they're not like walking and they're not moving, the hooves do not grind down like they normally would in their natural environment. And so what happens is the hooves overgrow and they are like rounded for hooved animals. And the same thing is for birds, is their beak is made of the same stuff as nails, I believe. And the beak will overgrow. So it actually, they trim and shape their beak as they eat. And their jaw muscle also shapes it. So if a bird is in a home environment, you can tell if it's neglected considerably. If they feed it like food that doesn't grind down their beak, it'll overgrow the beak, and then eventually they can't eat, and then they just die, basically. So yeah, birds in captivity, it's a thing that they can deal with. I had never seen that in my life before. Yeah, Brent, you said I've never seen it. I did not know it existed. It came up my feed and I was like, that is wild looking. Probably because I watched similar videos of people trimming these like weird overgrown hooves. And I got to see the process of that, and I was like, wow, that's kind of fascinating. And then it was like, YouTube was like, oh, you like that? Well, you also like birds' beaks. And it was so weird to watch this lady just take like a nail clipper to the beak. I was like, I, I don't know if I could do that. I hate looking at this lady do this. It's like almost, it feels wrong that you're like literally cutting its mouth. But no, it helps. It does have blood vessels in the mouth, so you don't want to cut too harshly. But they do really appreciate it. And then she also was showing the preening, because birds that aren't in groups that are in captivity obviously also need help with their feathers, because their feathers sort of grow this like shell around it. And something birds do is they like preen each other, I believe is what the word is, and they'll basically like take their beak at these like essentially it's a feather that's tucked together really tightly inside like a little, it looks like a plastic sheath, but you have to like scratch the plastic sheath off, and then the new feather from behind can actually grow out. So birds actually need other birds to groom them essentially in order to get their new feathers out. Otherwise they get like all these, overgrown feather sheaths that are just behind their head. So pretty unique and interesting. Very strange. Maybe we'll do for the eyes, maybe like a dark red for the border. We'll make the eyes look less like strange looking here. I don't know. Yeah, I like that more. Let's do it lighter though. This is too light. I just don't want him to look like he's got goggles. That's what I'm aiming for. A goggleless appearance. I can probably also slightly change the shape, because obviously birds are prey, and so they have eyes on either side. That's a pretty natural indication of prey. So maybe we do them farther apart. Oh, he just looks fucking derpy, dude. We can't do that. What if I do one eye? What does that look like? That looks weird. We can't do that. Good thought, though. I guess I kind of like the eyes closest together most of all. I sort of like this look. Derpy has some charm to it too. It really does. It does have some charm to it. I kind of like the derpy. It's not the same vibe, but it is also a vibe. Actually, maybe it'll be different if we change the unibrow. This is not bad. I don't hate it. It's not like a love it for me, but I don't hate it. I like it more than maybe the eyes close together, because it's got a silliness to it that I don't mind. We'll go with that for now. Can always refine it later. Actually, you know what I might like more? What if I do like a sort of like lightning bolt type of erratic looking, like maybe like his own eyebrows are sentient and they don't really know what direction they're going in. They're confused about their own existence and grow outwardly. Okay, so I like the look, but he doesn't look as angry as he needs to. So we either need to edit that in the eyes, I think, is where we gotta tackle. So what would make him look angrier is if the eyes were lower. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling this. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Yeah, he honestly just has this look of pure disdain that I am actually in love with. because I actually, this is a secret, but I really did not like wanting to add. Um, his attitude is much more. Yeah, I love it. I don't like cosmetics in games. That's something I find like kind of annoying. Um, I don't like cosmetics, and but there was something that players really wanted was like hats. So I was like, okay, I'll add the hats. So I begrudgingly added. I actually really like the color changing thing. I don't mind that, but I have a thing where you can change your color to like a pre-selected palette. You can't choose it, but you can change your colors slightly, which I didn't mind because that's just a shader. It's a little bit of work. It was a little bit annoying. But then I added the hat shop where you could buy hats with the money you earned, and I don't like the hats because I have to do animations for every hat, dude. It was obnoxious because there's problem is my game has a lot of different sprites in it. So it was like, it's obnoxious because this is what it looks like. Okay, I have a hat follow script, and depending on the animation and what animation you're in, I have to modify the X and Y value of the hat. And so I have like all of these different, like basically if else statement conditions for like every sprite, and there's still plenty of them that I haven't had because it's like, okay, you're gonna wear the hat, but then like all right, you go to the Mario level, okay, and you have your bucket hat, sweet, you hit this, you got the barbell. Well, then you obviously have to have for that sprite, I have the hat turn off for when you're in buff mode, but like, yeah, I have the hat for that sprite. And then like, okay, you have the ragdoll from one of the levels, like you gotta have the hat on that. So it's just, and it's like the most unfun thing to program ever because it doesn't really add that much for me. So yeah, it's very tedious to get right. Yeah, it's tedious, and then it doesn't look right all the time. So I really don't like the hat. So actually what I was going to do at some point is punish people for the vanity of having a hat, but I haven't done it yet. At some point I will. I'll punish them for having the hat. So, yeah, with all the animations and poses. Yes, yeah. And because I was aiming for like a variety type game anyways. So yeah, with all the animations, it's just like there has to be something for everything basically. So every time I make a new player animation, I mean, I can, without even going into the game, we can just look. You can see the player itself has tons of animations. I have a baby mode for the player as well, where they can be a baby. I have an elderly form as well. I have an armored version of the player where they're in armor. They have a lot of different unique sprites that determine what the player is doing, what they're grabbing. Some things are, more than others. So it's a ton of, like, basically each one of these needs to have a hat thing. Otherwise I have to throw the hat off, basically, assuming that it's not a standing sprite. So hats are not fun. I really hated the hats. So who hates hats and doesn't let you pass unless you take it off to teach you the beauty of being yourself. Dude, great idea. I actually already am kind of in the same vein with you. I have an idea written down that is pretty similar to this. A bucket is probably them being themselves. That's also true. A bucket hat probably is them being themselves. But no, I do have a level where it's going to be essentially like that. The solution will be that you have to take your hat off. And then I have a one where you'll be punished for wearing a hat depending on where you're at because of your vanity. So things like that. And then I have levels that like deal with your money and things like that as well. So, but yeah, hats struggle. That was not something. Yeah, I really like the personality of this guy now. He's got a very begrudging. We can also actually, so even though he doesn't have lips, we can kind of do that that thing people do where they like purse their lips a little bit. I don't know how to, I can't, it's like a grimace or something. But like this, kind of like his lips are, like I think it's better with the 2 pixels. I think it comes through a little bit more. I don't know. I'm trying to see where I would do it. Maybe up here more. I feel like maybe something like that looks the best. Now it's gotta be back. Might be more confusing. No, Maybe it just doesn't look right. We could do it, but it just does not look right. Actually, let's save another frame of this, just so I don't fuck up anything I like. No, that's way too high. It's got to be somewhere between this distance. Kind of like he's like cringing. Tell you what, we'll leave it tentatively in there because we can always use other faces for different things. I kind of, this is okay. It's not my full vision, but so we have this kind of bemoan. Actually, I wonder what it looks like if we move it back a little bit more. I actually like more of the general vibe of disdain I get from this being back here. Yeah, okay. All right, and then let's take some of these other colors here and let's make his thing a darker color, and then let's add some sort of feather-like aspect to it. I think if I do like a patch of color. I was at a place where we got to hold parrots. It was just like on the street, and we made connections with a woman who in Michigan runs like a parrot sanctuary thing. She has like this giant barn built, and she like takes care of parrots. I was like, that is fucking awesome. I want to come to that at some point. So we have her contact information. Very unique. So we got this giant bird just perching on your arm. Their claws are sharp, dude. Holy crap. Very sharp claws. Bird lover. I'm not a bird lover. I know it sounds like I'm a bird lover. I really do. I like learning things, I think. That's probably better. I'm not a bird lover. I think I just like animals, actually. Animals are interesting to me. I have a lot of appreciation for them. Yeah, you're probably like, man, this guy knows a shit ton about birds. Bird up. No, it's not them themselves. A student of the world. Yeah, basically. If I could easily show you my books, I would. Actually, let's, here, I can show you. I posted a picture for my preview at the end of it, I think. Actually, if we just hit this. Yeah, so this is what it looks like right now. So the camera is like this thing right here, and I just have tons of books. I have my collection of great books of the Western world above my shelf, and then I have all my books in my office. And then I'm looking at the screen right now. So I be a reader. We read here. I sort of like this jet. Your place is like a library. It really is like a library. That's basically what it is. My room is like that at my house too. I don't have a picture of that on hand, but it's basically just like a wall of just 10 shelves of books. So I've actually been doing a lot more of the streaming and stuff than reading lately, but I do have to read the Gospels for my book club, so I'm gonna do that. That's really cool, man. Thanks, dude. Do you read? Do you have a favorite book? If you do, you gotta tell me, man. I gotta know. Okay, so we're gonna do like implied feathers for the birds. I think as long as we do like a feather type thing. Glad you've been spending more time on stream lately. I'm glad too. I've been having fun with it. I do really like streaming because it connects with the community more, and then I can take, you know, the suggestions and ideas and things and go from there. And I also feel like it's fun to show the process as well, because I don't have to do everything on stream, but it is fun that I can show aspects of the process. I'm glad you've been enjoying stream, though. That's awesome. I still haven't figured out like an actual set schedule, but I will have some schedule at some point after I take some time and figure it out. To be honest, I'm pretty bad when it comes to books. I don't consider myself a reader, but my favorite book series that I read a while ago is the Dresden Files series. Don't watch the show; it fucking sucks, Lamau. Is that a like crime mystery type thing? I don't think I. Oh, the name does sound familiar, but I'm not entirely sure what the Dresden Files are. It sounds like a true crime type of thing. I kind of like the nose ridge. It's a little strange, but I don't know if this really looks like feathers, but I kind of enjoy it. Way to describe it as Harry Potter for an older audience. Interesting. Is it magic? I wasn't expecting it to be like a magic series. I'm assuming maybe you mean like the character and his progression sort of thing, and not necessarily the setting, but when I think of Harry Potter, I think of like magic. Alright, this bird looks sassy. Harry Dresden, the main character, is a wizard and also private investigator consultant for the police. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't, from hearing the name Dresden Files, I would not have assumed magic at all. So that's very interesting. Okay, neato. Yeah, I do think a lot of people's like hobbies and stuff does come from an identification with the hobby. I was not a reader until college, and I read a few poems that my world literature teacher showed us, and then after that point, I became a reader. I read A and P by John Updike, and I love that poem so much. And then afterwards, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start reading, and I just started like reading a bunch of stuff, and then I kept tossing around the idea of doing a book club, and the other guys really enjoyed it too, and so we've been reading a bunch of different literature. We read it's like a lot of political stuff, honestly. We read Mein Kampf. We read 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. We've also read Brave New World, things like that. I really like Canticle for Leibowitz. That was a very interesting book. It was like a Catholic sci-fi, very fascinating. A very well written book. Very strange, but very well written. It was also funny too. We just finished Crime and Punishment. That's like 600 pages though. It's pretty big. Whoop. Pretty giant. Finish anything. Pretty giant book. But man, Crime and Punishment, gold. Beautiful book. Thank you, Fyodor Dostoevsky, Russian writer. Super good book. One of my favorite scenes in the book, I think I mentioned it the other day, but I'll say it again briefly, is like the investigator is investigating the main character because he suspects him of committing murder, which he did. He committed the murder, and he's pacing around the room, and he paces back and forth, and he's like trying to explain why he's pacing because they're both excited about this ordeal. Basically, like the killer doesn't want to get caught, and then obviously the investigator wants to catch him, but he doesn't have the evidence to like necessarily prove that it was him because of just the circumstances and stuff. And he keeps pacing the room, and he's like, sorry, I keep pacing. It's hemorrhoids. You know what they say. Maybe I should jump rope, go to the gym or something, like gymnastics. Maybe that's what I need to do. That's what the education says. Like, he just goes through it really fast. It's very funny. Very good scene. I do have respect for those who read. My mom literally has a room in her home as a library. She reads avidly and trades books. But video games kind of potential ADHD killed my intention of reading. Gotcha. Makes sense. Wow, that's neat. Yeah, it's a fun book. Yeah, it's understandable. Potential ADD in video games. I do think that the reward systems are very different, but I do think people are generally malleable. They're pretty moldable depending on what you do. If you set the right intentions and you make time for it, you can start cranking out books. One of the things I used actually, which I don't know if you drink coffee. When I used to drink coffee, it was a really good trick. But it was if you're trying to get yourself to do something, like reading, for example, you should always pair it with something you already like. And so at that time, I liked coffee and I wanted to read more. And so basically, whenever I made my coffee in the morning, I would read while I was drinking my coffee. And then eventually I began to associate just reading with enjoyment. by doing that process, and then I ended up liking reading, essentially. It's kind of similar for working on art. I was talking with my buddy for our little cast thing, and he was asking me because he was trying to write a book, and one of his concerns was like, hey, the first day I had a lot of inspiration, I had a lot of motivation, and then after it, when I came back to it the second day, I struggled to like even put anything on the page. He's like, what would you recommend? Because he felt like he didn't have motivation. And I was suggesting that often when it comes to art, in my feeling anyways, for my life, I don't know if this will be useful for you, but art for me, the motivation also often comes as a byproduct of just doing something. That the more I do something, the more I engage with stream and people that like my game and like my work, the more I engage with my work and just do it. Even if I have no motivation, the motivation will become a byproduct of just doing it. I'll play with something and I'll be like, oh, this is a really good idea. I really want to do that. Like, it just sort of evolves from doing the thing rather than necessarily having the motivation to then begin something. Because it's true, you often do have motivation to change some aspect of your life or to do something. But when it comes to a continued persistence of engaging with that particular thing, it's often a byproduct. As a result of doing things, you feel more passion, you feel more motivation to continue doing it. So that's how I feel about that. Like, the more I work on this, I'm like, okay, well, I really like my sand level. That's almost done. And then as I was making the sand level, I thought of like another level idea. So I write it down. I'm like, okay, we're going to get closer to this and then go from that. Ever heard and experienced the same? Also feel the same. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know how accurate my worldview or reality is. I feel like you sort of just learn more and more as actually, let's delete this. I want to work on this main a little bit as time goes on, so you have to like figure out what is real and what is not objective reality, and then you got to deal with like, you know, when you learn stuff, if it's actually real or not, or if it's just some cuckoo bird in your head, dude. Some vestigial parental teaching that you have to undo internally. Yeah, the older I get, the more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know. Yeah, I think the Albert Einstein quote is, the more knowledge you know, the greater your circumference with the unknown grows. But I think a better way to put it is, the more I don't know. That's pretty okay. That's pretty good. I think it's like the way he words it is like the more you know, the more you don't know, because your circumference with the darkness is greater or something like that. I don't know. His wording is different. I have a different wording in my quotes, my favorite quotes thing that I've written down. When I write my life philosophy, I'll have it in there. Some variation of that quote. Okay, I like this. This looks good. This has got the vibe that I want. So let's duplicate this and let's do that little thing on the beak here. Okay. He's got just a little lip purse here. Okay, and then we'll do a talk. Actually, let's go down here. Where the hell is this bird at? Actually, you know what? Post game thing. Future after, probably priority is actually organizing these. Organizing Game Maker file. There's a lot of stuff I have started and not finished in the 2 years that I've been working on this. And I think having it better organized would actually increase my efficiency through cycling through some of this stuff and also figuring out what I didn't finish that I want to finish. So I think that would be important. Good use of my time after I get the update. But one step at a time. Okay, so we got the bird portrait. Let's duplicate. You're back. Welcome back. Can we duplicate this? Okay. Name that test. Okay. Welcome back. How are you doing? What are you up to? Not back, but okay, you wanted to say buck. I thought you wanted to say back, but I'm sorry I put those words in your mouth. You are buck. Okay, I don't know what that means, but I'll take your word for it. Okay, so if I was like a smarmy bird and I didn't really want to talk... Actually, what is this dialogue? Yes, okay. Do I look like I have any answers? I'm just a parrot. Squawk. Okay. So he's pretty sassy. Let's, it looks like his mouth sort of... I want to keep the consistency between the beak animation. So I feel like we gotta do something like this. Is that gonna work? No. It looks a little weird. No, because this has to move as a whole. Let's change the sprite speed to like 15. That's still too fast. 10. Still too fast. 7. That's better. Okay, let's remove this. Okay, it looks a little weird because the split point is actually in a different area. Okay, we can also move the mouth up. I think that'll change it. Yeah, give it a little bit of movement. The split point is still in a different area. This is actually throwing me off. We gotta do something like this. I like that initially, but it's making it weird. Yeah, okay. That looks better. It's still kind of strange because of the... Because I'm actually changing the shape of it. Let's try it again. Let's delete this, but let's keep the general weird shape of the beak. And let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, actually I really like the disappointment that radiates from his mouth when I see this like frown embedded permanently in his beak, like he's physiognomically like angry. We're just gonna delete this. I already love this better. Welcome back, Thomas. You're not Buck, right? You're back. Cody, howdy. Welcome, Thomas. Howdy yourself. How do yourself? How you doing? I like this physiognomical anger that's just manifested from years of just discontent about his life of being a hat salesman. Somebody that regularly, almost unendingly, bemoans his fate, agentless in his own design, yet suffering all the same. It's beautiful. Look at that. Should I do a curve to further cement this absolute disgust of being a hat salesman? Yes. I also get that vibe. Good job on your pixel art. Tapping into the lack of fucks. Thank you, Brent. Yeah. He really does have that energy. He's like, God, this guy wants hats again. This is actually my energy towards vanity and cosmetics in video games. This is what it is right here. This is actually just me. This is an embodiment of myself. It's coming out. Freaking out about the presentation. Why are you freaking out, dude? You're the last one. Everybody's done. It doesn't matter. It's just a chill thing. Not like this. Nah, dude, you got this. Yeah, more hats? No. No more hats. I can't stand the hats. Make the hat just be a mini level. Dude, that's a funny idea. Yeah, give them the hats they want, but only for a single level. That's actually a hilarious idea. That's good. I'll keep that in mind when I want to torture people about these hats. I actually like this disdain. Oh, it almost looks better like that, but I don't like that connection. Okay, actually, we can make it better. We can make this thicker. So he still has that deep marrowing? Is that a word? Marrowing frown? Not Morrowind. Marrowing. Tomorrow. I don't know. Make a hat just be a mini player character. That's also an interesting idea. I appreciate the weird ideas you bring to this chat. Make the hat that when equipped would create an entity and just tries to eat the hat, but when it does, you die too. Okay, interesting. We're thinking more along the lines of punishments. I like that. Punishments for it. That's pretty good. Okay. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty content about this. I like that idea, Addo. Yeah, I do like the idea. Creates an entity that tries to eat the hat. Got some interesting ideas. Should his eyes lower too? Would that be good? A timeout that makes you old. That's also a great idea as well. No, we can't change the eyes. But I do like the disdainful eyes. So let's so maybe for this one we'll do, this is just for future if we want to do other visuals of him. Maybe this is like after you buy a hat. What percentage of viewers do you have on stream? What percentage? What do you mean? Gotta be more specific. What percentage of viewers I have on stream? There's a bird here in Australia called the magpie. I've heard of this. It's notorious for being annoying AF and swooping at people when walk past or ride their bikes. I would totally imagine a magpie having beef with you because he just doesn't like your hat. He had the color of the hat he hates. That's good too. I should honestly take a picture of this whole chat window. Yeah, that's funny. The magpie. Yeah, what do you mean, Thomas? What percentage of viewers do you have on my stream? I'm getting pretty close to affiliate, if that's what you're asking. Oh, to get affiliate. Yeah, here, I'll show you. We'll go through it together. I'm pretty close. Look at this, dude. I'm getting teased. I'm getting absolutely teased. Look at it. I'm at the followers. I'm at the streams. I'm at the days. I just need this to get to a 3. You see this? This 0.02 I need? Yeah, I need to have at least 3. Yeah, 3 concurrent viewers. But it's taking it against my analytics. So, like, the problem is these streams from, like, a month ago are in the way, basically. I'm like, no, Addo. No, it doesn't matter. I'll get it whenever. Yeah, dude, it's teasing me. It's baiting me. I figure I'll get it when I get it. It would be cool to get it earlier, but I'm not going to worry about it. If it happens, it happens. But I'm, like, so close, dog. Look at that. I'm absolutely being baited by this. What are these guys doing to me, dude? Yeah, I know you're joking. It was a good joke. Yeah, I'm so close. 0.02. It would be cool. And then after that, we can tackle. I'm creating new. You don't need to do that. You don't need a bot. I appreciate it, Thomas. You don't need a bot. We'll get it. I think maybe even after this stream or the next stream, we'll probably get it. A lot of my friends that that are here in Michigan that watch the stream want it later so they can watch it. So I'll go on and off. Creating a bot that makes your bot to view your stream. Wait, creating a bot that makes bots to view your stream. Oh no, that's a whole thing. But yeah, I'm pretty close. And then we'll get that knocked out. I basically just want it for the Time Wizard emotes. I kind of am annoyed that like the Twitch affiliate plays ads. That's a little annoying. I don't know if I like that much, but I do like that the emote. Yeah, you would get banned. Yeah, you don't want to do bots. No botting. We'll get there naturally, one step at a time. And then I can work on another secondary goal for me will be getting a YouTube partnership at some point too. So I can start uploading more videos to YouTube. But we got a couple ideas with the Zombies Ate My Femboy speed run, which will be funny. And then we'll do that. I'll cut that clip of us playing Addo's games, those Find the Addo things. We can do that. And then I'll just add my music, which will be another thing for YouTube. So I have YouTube content. Oh, and then I have my hike that I failed pretty spectacularly, trying to hike 70 miles barefoot and carrying 50 pounds. That was nice. That was good. So we can talk about that. So I got content. I gotta put it out. But we're gonna focus one thing at a time. I think it's best to have the hyperfixation, which I also think is a part of ADHD too. Is a hyperfixation. I'm not saying I have ADHD. I might, but we were talking about that earlier with Brent, so that's why I brought it up. So, anyways, we got this disdainful look. Actually, maybe we can have a blink. Actually, you know what would really sort of give him like there's like this bags under his eyes. Like he's just so done with the world. I'll think about that for later. He doesn't need it right now. Or does he? No, that makes him look too tired. I don't want to imply a tiredness. I like the tired of you like look that he has here. So maybe I'll do that for that. I have shit attention, but my wife has hyperfixation. If she focuses on something and gets disturbed, it's literally painful for her and it's hard for her to get back in the zone. That's interesting. I think I might have aspects of hyperfixation as well. Because I get so annoyed when I'm doing something, I get distracted about it. But I think it's easy for stream because I come to it with the intention of being distracted anyways, right? Find the Codys. That's good too. Yeah, I'll make a Find the Codys. Yeah, I will get Cody banned. No banning. Yeah, I feel that's that way about the hyperfixation thing. Because I'll go through these phases where I'm like super interested in something and not. And then whatever. So if I call out to her and she doesn't respond, I just leave her and wait for her to become available. My call is queued in her mind, so she'll get back to me when she's done. That's very interesting. I should have my girlfriend do that with me. Maybe that would be good. Be like, you know what? Just when you call me or you want my attention, just it'll queue in my mind and I'll come. That's kind of how I do it a little bit right now, but because she'll like message me on Discord or something, and then I'll finish up what I'm doing and then I'll go see what she needs. That is funny though. I feel like this needs to be bigger. Oh yeah. Maybe. Okay. I think that's pretty good. This is good. Let's get them in there. And then what are we looking for on time? We're almost about 3 hours. We're at 2:43 right now. Okay, so we're gonna do the bird face, and then we'll look at our list and we'll determine what I want to do next. So first off, we gotta figure out where to put this. So do we have, what is this guy's name? Not the parrot. Is it like worker or something? This is a Halloween level. Is this guy? That's what I'm thinking of. Retail worker. Okay, let's look for the real retail worker, and then we'll put that bird after the retail worker. Oh, I don't know what to really do right now. What do you want to really do right now, dude? The whole world is your oyster. You could do anything. Let's take one of the, actually, let's take one of the ones that have this here. Cody, don't click on this. Okay, I won't. Why did you paste it in chat? Should I be concerned? curiosity. Nah, I won't click on it. Okay, so... Wait, he's on 4-2, right? Yeah, okay. So we can put the bird after. Or maybe do it. Somebody else needs to vouch for it. Somebody vouch for Thomas's link. Should I be clicking on that? 50-50. Oh, no. Parrot dialogue. And then we gotta go get the parrot. I clicked on it and my Mac didn't like it and recommended I close the link. Okay. Probably not gonna click on that then. Macs are super antsy about some links. It's like a grandma. Yeah, Mac is like that a little bit. Okay, so we got some copy and pasting to do. GLHF. Oh no, he says that so menacingly. Good luck, have fun. It's all downhill for you. Sounds like his computer just blocked it though, so. Right now, it doesn't need to worry about having fun. His Mac has him protected. It's a grandma, but it's a grandma that knows about technology to some extent. Okay. I don't know why I keep typing Fox between these, but for some reason it's a really easy word for me visually to see. So that's why I just keep putting it in here so I can click on it. The ghost of Steve Jobs protects you. He sacrificed himself. Just for the sake of future Apple users. What a selfless man. I fear what would have happened if Steve Jobs continued. We would have had the Apple Vision sooner, I think. Although that was probably a market failure. We would have had it sooner. Okay, so we're just going to get this dialogue in, and then we're going to swap the dialogue because it's using the old one. Are you sure you don't want to click it? I don't know if I want to click it, dude. Click, click, click. You're teasing me with this link, dude. So maybe I'll click it on my phone if it's on there. I feel safer that way. Off of my home network for my office. Sketchy links. I can't believe they're baiting me with that 2.98 for the fucking Twitch thing, dude. That's insane. It's like they're like, you need to stream another week, dude. Sorry. It's gotta happen. How do I get to my chat? Oh, stream manager. Alright, let's paste the link again. I think it was funny how Apple launched goofy goggles after the failure of a far more sleek Google. Yeah, I was wondering about that. They just went in and they're like, oh, we gotta compete. Like, we have to. And then they made the goofy goggles. It's true. It makes you look like you're a spaceman or something. It's really bizarre. Okay, I'm typing this link just so I can click on it on my phone. We'll see what it is. It says the connection is not private to steal your financial information. Yeah, that website sounds terrible. Why do you have this link, dog? How do I delete my own message? Don't click on this link. It's sussy. I don't know what that link is that Thomas shared. I don't know where he got it. But don't click on it. These Google Glasses look like glasses. Yeah, it honestly, you know what's funny? I used to watch some of the old Surveillance Man type videos where it would be this guy that would just take a camera in public and he would film people. And people got so angry about being filmed. Like they would like actually engage and like fight him and stuff. Because he was filming in public, and he was legally allowed to film in public, but they just did not want their person's film. And so it's like, to imagine like something so overtly strange looking, like the Apple Vision, like just walking around with that, being able to record people, and like it's really bizarre. I know this body modification dude. I think he's like some, I don't want to say transhumanist type thing, but there's like that community of people that do biohacking, where the most common biohack that people do is they'll cut their finger and they'll put like a gold plated or like zinc plated magnet, like a neodymium magnet in their fingertips. And I can see the utility in that for some people, because they can, like if you're an electrician or something, the magnet will vibrate, because it's inside your skin. Obviously it's embedded in there, and so you can feel like kind of where the electrical field is generally, because you have the magnet in your finger. And it's also a cool party trick because you can pick up paper clips with your fingertip and things like that. So I can see some of this like transhumanism, biohacking, that's like becoming more and more popular as technology increases, especially with, I know Elon's trying to do that stupid brain thing. I don't know. That does not seem like it's going to work. But anyways, they have things like that. They have things that can read the brain patterns, and you can like control things with it. But this guy had like a hacked camera modification thing on his glasses that looked less so than the Apple Vision. And he would go in public to like different places and record things. And he actually ended up getting like random fights because people didn't want to be recorded. Just things like that. Like I feel like that gets in the way. Whereas at least the Google Glass was like a low profile. It just looked like glasses. It did not look like, anything overtly was like recording people or anything like that. Because people take that stuff very seriously. At first I really wanted to buy one, but people who have reviewed it says it's not worth the price tag. Yeah, I think that's definitely true. I also think that Apple's closed environment doesn't really lend to it being that enjoyable to both work with. So that means that there's going to be less support universally for all third-party things, even if the technology itself is unique and slightly interesting. And the price tag was exorbitantly high. So I think something more low profile like the Google Glasses, with like that layer of augmented reality and not that giant distancing of reality that the Apple Vision seems to have, would be interesting. So yeah, it's fascinating stuff, dude. I find it very fascinating. I don't actually own any of the Vive or headsets or anything. The one time I did put on VR, I think it was a Vive or something, but I was playing this game at my buddy's house. I've only done it like one time doing anything VR, but I found it so funny. I did not expect it, but I didn't realize that my nearsightedness, my myopia, however you pronounce it, was going to be the same in this fucking game world, okay? Because I took off my glasses because I couldn't fit them in the Vive, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm just as blind as I am in the real world, but now I'm blind in video games as well. Even though the screen is like literally close, I'm still just as blind. I was like, what the hell? I'd rather buy RTX 4090 setup than Apple VR headset. Yeah, that makes sense. You probably could get a pretty bang computer. Yeah, that was pain. Yeah, it is a pain. I was like, man, I can't believe this. Like, I thought I'd be able to see this video game. Like, it was this game where you were, like, in a medieval setting and you could, like, pick up weapons and throw them at enemies that would repeatedly come at you. And my buddy's just, like, laughing so hard as I'm trying to, like, see what items are on the table and I can't read my spells, so I gotta hold them, like, up to my face. It was hilarious, but man, it was annoying and obnoxious. I was like, I can't believe it. I thought in VR my nearsightedness would be cured, but it's not. Pretty funny. But I probably just need to eat a bunch of fish eyes, That's what I gotta do. I gotta go to the Asian market or something, eat a bunch of fish eyes, and I probably solve my myopia right there. It'll be fixed in 2 seconds. Like heals like, as the Latin phrase goes. That's what I should have done. Can you buy fish eyes, fish heads, anywhere? I'll have to look. I am in Michigan. We have lakes. I feel like they probably just discard the fish heads, honestly. Or grind them up into, like, McDonald's. You have the Valve Index. Hated having to put my contacts in to use it, but then I bought myself laserized LASIK, which is so worth it. Just find yourself a fishmonger. Yeah, that's what I gotta do. That's interesting. I've never done anything with contacts. And I don't want to do latex. I don't know. I've heard a lot of good things about latex, but it just feels weird to me. Fish eyes are better than human eyes. Replace your eyes with fish eyes for $9.99. That's a good idea, Addo. Maybe I'll do that. I really do wonder what fish are able to see. I know dogs see like lower color and things like that, but the valve index. Okay, interesting. Laser eyes. So worth it. Yeah, I have heard a lot about LASIK. I don't mind having nearsightedness. It's not a problem. I kind of also don't mind being somebody that wears glasses. I have read that you can strengthen your eyes though. I think because I just stare at a computer for my whole life. I've done a lot of video games and stuff. I think my eyes are just weak. Probably what I'll end up implementing after this winter is in the summer going outside and reading my books, because I heard that like without glasses, because I heard that reading just and focusing on like small stuff outside in sunlight does help. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. Just sign the contract. Don't read it. It's not like you'll allow us to take your organs. It's not like we're going to take anything. You don't need all those organs. You have 2 lungs. You don't even run. Why would you need lungs? Especially 2 of them. We could put that to good use. Okay, so we got to figure out what the text is. I think it's SCR text box is my new one. No. I want to say that the Index is still the highest quality VR headset on the market. Only downside is it is tethered. Yeah, that is a big downside. Depends on what you're doing, actually. But, yeah, the tethering can be a problem. But I don't know. I guess it lasts longer because it's tethered, right? You're not running off battery or something. I think. I don't really know that much. I haven't looked into all the headsets. I figure by the time I was actually going to get into headsets for anything, it would be down the line when I have, different investments and interest. But I do find the VR stuff interesting for sure. I also saw a video for Disney releasing this like omnidirectional walking treadmill thing. That was fascinating. It's like a bunch of balls on a surface that like shift and stuff. But it does afford higher quality screens. Interesting. Okay. Higher quality screens. You mean like the headset itself has higher quality screens? Yeah. Let's see here. So we gotta go. What does this guy got going on in here? Why is his text still active? Is this a step event? Why does this even exist anymore? Yeah, this is a headset screen. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, how you doing today, Mac? How's your game coming along? What are you working on right now? Okay. I don't actually think I need... It's not like... I'm sure it's not inhibiting my runtime to have this running, but it is distracting me a little bit from what I'm looking at. 1440 by 1600 per eye at 144 hertz. That's crazy, dude. I don't even know what this monitor I have in front of me is, but it's really low. I promise you. It is not anywhere near that. I think my first investment after any of this stuff is going to be a new chair, though, before I do monitors. Although double monitors was nice when I had them. So maybe. But double monitors can also be more distracting as well. So it has a plus and minus to it. Depends on what you're doing. For streaming, it's definitely better to have double monitors. I don't think I could survive without having a secondary monitor. That's interesting because I had a secondary monitor for a long time, and then like I think the capacitor went out. I just need to get a new capacitor. It's like 10 cents, and then probably solder it in there, but I just haven't gone about it yet. And yeah, I did like the 2 monitors. It also I think would help with the streaming a little bit because I have a second one down here that I just plug in and off for that. But working, like the only disadvantage to working with the second monitor is that sometimes it's nice to have the reference up on the left hand side, but I do find I get more done with just a single monitor than having two. So even if I had two, I'd probably just turn off the second monitor unless I was using it. Because sometimes I'll play like YouTube and stuff, and that's a little distracting. Depends on what type of work you're doing, frankly. But not working on any game stuff at the moment. Working the day job, dealing with the joys of Azure and Airflow. Those are both, are those server-related infrastructure things? I don't remember what Azure is. Isn't Microsoft Azure or something like that? Sorry, I'm not that familiar with like the actual IT type job stuff. I think that is IT related, but I don't know. I want to say like server or web type stuff, but I don't really remember. So forgive my ignorance. Azure is MS Public Cloud and Airflow is the orchestrator. Okay, I thought it was something related to cloud work or something like that. Interesting. So is that's what you primarily do? I'm assuming you work for some company and like manage their cloud or web service or something like that. Parrot dialogue. And then I don't think we need anything else for that really, no. Parrot dialogue, image speed, and then we gotta make sure parrot hat salesman. Maybe there's gotta be a shorter way to put that. Parrot hat salesman. I could just call it the hat salesman, but that would be, we'll just do the salesman thing. Okay. And then we have to make sure that he has, where's the retail worker here? Maybe he has a different name. What is he? Fun worker. That's what his name is. Not consistent. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. So we have this. We're going to keep that in mind. We're going to drag this. This is the face and the portrait of the characters, so we got to make sure that that is the correct portrait. Yeah, I'm the SE for a global finance company dealing with hundreds of terabytes of data across 3 clouds. That sounds like a lot of responsibility. That's interesting that you work in global finance and Brent works in financial crime. I don't know what that says about the appeal of my stream or video game design, but I appreciate you guys here, regardless. Interesting. Finance company. That sounds like that's a lot of work, dude. Sounds like a big responsibility. End region. Do I have an end region for this? Oh, the end region is here. Got it. Let's bring it down. So actually, now that I think about it, Brent might be your mortal enemy, because if you guys do financial crime, he's going to be the one that finds out. Or he's your best ally. Hard workers appreciate spending time with the entertaining hard worker. That's true. Thank you. Yeah, that's got to be what it is. Hard workers in the financial the sector. Finance jobs tend to pay very well, but the downside is you have to work with those non-tech folks in finance. It's also funny because Jazz isn't here right now, but she works in accounting as well. She technically is from Tyler's stream, my buddy, but that is funny. That's pretty funny to think about. A lot of accounting and finance. I guess money's pretty big, huh? There's a lot of things. Money can do a lot. A lot of things happening. That's very interesting. Yeah, the non-tech folks. It almost sounds as bad as working with people with marketing. For reference, my job history, you're going to love this. My job history was I got out of high school, and then I was a cart boy for a golf course. And then eventually I became a golf course manager. I was managing a par 3 golf course. And then after that, I lost my job and then made this game. And then since then, I've been doing freelance stuff. So I used to like scrap stuff from like banks, and that was a weird job. And then we would like scrap, like we would recycle old hardware and software stuff. That was really strange. And then I would do like odd jobs for friends and stuff like that. I worked at a printing company for a little bit with my dad. That was very bizarre. It was a late night graveyard shift at the printing company. So we printed thousands of those terrible advertisements that you get in your mailbox that are just generic, that have everyone's name stamped on them of like the rewards. So that was terrible. I hated that just because of the nighttime stuff. And then, yeah, and then now I do like maintenance freelance stuff for the office we rent. And then, yeah, that's basically it. And then this. So that's my primary occupation right now. And I'm just sort of learning as I go for the maintenance stuff because my dad knows a lot of maintenance stuff. So Brent Brother deal with much SEC regulations, SEC regulations, Security and Exchange Commission. Brent is in Australia, so they might have a different name for that exact thing, but maybe. It's a pretty vast resume you have. Yeah, it's a strange resume. But my knowledge did help me with making my golf level. So I took everything I learned from golf. I did not like golf. I'm going to be honest. It's a very boring sport. But I understand why people appreciate it. But it did help me with, defining the boundaries of what the rough is, what the bunkers are, how it works, things like that. It's pretty good. And then the Canadian geese, obviously, over here, we deal with the Canadian geese a lot. I don't know if you have Canadian geese in Australia, but they're pretty big over here. They're everywhere. They shit on everything. They stay everywhere. It's pretty good. Fair. Also, actually, a really funny story you guys might enjoy is that when I was working in golf and I had just become manager, or I don't know, it was something like that. It was really funny because there was a guy that had called, and I don't know how much you guys know about golf, but he was asking, he's like, hey, what color are the tees? And I was like, okay, the tees, right? Like I was thinking like, oh, we have tees at the shop that we sell. So they're white and tan. Or like beige, essentially. Those are the two tees we sell. So I said white and beige. He's like, no, like the tees. And I was like, yeah, these are the tees we sell. He's like, no, the tees you like hit off of. And I was like, yes, the tees, the little picks. We have white and beige ones. He's like, no, the tees on the course that you hit off of. I'm like, yes, the tees on the course that you hit off of, that you put the balls on, you hit off. He's like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the tee boxes. I was like, well, they're not boxes. They come in bags. He's like, no, that's not what we're talking. I'm talking about the tees. How much yard is the tees? And then eventually my manager just sitting behind me, like laughing his ass off because he only hears half of the conversation, but he knows exactly the problem, but he didn't want to help me at all. He wanted me to just stumble through it and figure it out, that he wasn't talking about the little wooden tees you put the ball on. He's talking about the tee boxes you hit off of on the actual golf course. And like oh my god, it was so fucking funny, dude. I was dying. After I figured it out, I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I took like the scorecard and I was like, yeah, here's the ranges, here's the yardage. I was like, this is what it is. Oh my god, it was so bad, but really funny. The golf course days were good, dude. Got a lot of sunlight then. That was really good. We do have a lot of transaction monitoring procedures, but I've been mainly involved with conducting due diligence on customers and identifying suspicious activity. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, the golf level is cool. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, the golf level is pretty fun. It's a silly level, but the basic concept is that you gotta actually, here, let me see if I can show you my favorite part of the level. Let's see if I can do it. Thing I really like about this level, if I can hit it right. So if you're, actually we need to slightly go over here. So if you're here, since it's a video game and I thought it would be pretty funny, if you try to flip to the other side, you just fall down and you have to get up each time. So you can't make any shots that you can't actually stand on. So it physically prevents you from it and you have to go pick up your club again. So that's pretty funny. And then the Canadian geese, goose that I have over here, I don't know why I keep saying the plural, actually will take your club. Oh, if you get out of bounds, you break your club. I forgot about that too. Water is technically out of bounds. That's pretty funny. Yeah, it's pretty good. Here, I see if I can get the goose to take my club. I don't know if I can hit this from here. No, probably not. Maybe I gotta get up here. Yeah, let's go over there. Let's see if I can hit it over here. It's a fairway shot. So yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, it'll take your club, and so you got to chase after it and get your damn club back. Sometimes it'll fall down there and just completely prevent you. There's like a form and fashion to it. You gotta like take the club when it's on this side, or just you gotta pray the goose doesn't get the club before you get your shot off. But yeah, it's a pretty funny level. Yeah, that is so good. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I had a lot of fun designing that one. It's a good level. Yeah, the goose is great. I was gonna bring the goose back, but I don't know how I want to do it. I do have a Another level. All the red levels are work in progress, and then the orange is like things I'm considering finishing before the update, and then pink is a level that's complete that just needs sound, and white is completely done for reiteration here. But this is one of the old levels I had, because I want to do a cave level like in Zelda, where you only have a certain amount of light. But the monster in the cave is the geese that take your light. So I'll have to figure something out for that. It's okay, but the light's a little too small, and it doesn't play very well. So I have to figure something out like that. You gotta avoid spikes and shit. So yeah, we'll make it work. I want to bring the geese back. Geese are a big part of my life. We see them all the time. They make eggs. They lay their nests like around the office and like the little islands in the parking lot. So like people bring out like water for them and stuff. They're like a menace. But you can't hunt them or anything because they're Canada's national bird, so they're like protected. So we just have to let them run everywhere basically. Oh my god. So they have free range, completely unfettered everywhere. So that'll be really funny. It's winter, so they should be migrating now, but down south. But they'll come back up in spring and we'll see a crap ton of them again. Really, really funny. So yeah, what was I doing? Oh, we got the parrot. Yep, we need to make sure the parrot's face is in here too. The parrot portrait. So we need to make sure the right sprite is here. So SPR hat parrot portrait. Maybe we should name this Talk, because this is Talk. Okay. A potential idea I have is if there's a monster like a minotaur or something that's attracted to the light, but you can throw him off by giving your torch to the goose. Interesting idea, but I actually do have a minotaur already. I can show him to you. I could bring him back. It's not like it's, you know, forbidden, but I do have a minotaur. So in these levels, for the city levels, you have to collect 4 items as part of a fetch quest, and one of the items is in this kind of empty basement. It's an early level that I had made. But once you navigate the pretty simple maze down here and collect the mocha, the coffee beans, I believe, in order to finish the mocha latte that the guy wants, the minotaur comes out and breaks the path beneath you. And so he's kind of like, but he's minotaurian jeans and he has a black shirt on. You can ask past Cody what he thought about that. I don't know what my intention was for that. But yeah, then you have to exit. So I do have a minotaur. I probably should add something to this level at some point too, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's part of it, and then you get one of the items you need to continue. Minotaur is a good idea. When I think of dark places and labyrinths, that is the first thing I think of. The Greek Minotaur. I'm trying to remember what the guy's name that killed the Minotaur was. Or not killed it, but got in and got out. I think he did kill it, actually. Gotta brush up on my Greek stories. Yeah, the cave setting made me think of it too, yeah. Yeah, I like the cave thing. I also do have different Cody, I'm rich. I sold 26 copies. Dude, that's awesome. Good job, Fzzy. Yeah, just make sure... Actually, what you gotta do, Fzzy, if you want to really keep the retainment for the copies, since people like to return games, is you gotta get your 2 hours of content in there. Yeah, Perseus. Yeah, it was Perseus, I think. And then, I can't remember the woman's name. And you did a day 1 fix. Awesome. Dude, you're cooking, dude. Yeah, yeah, there'll be like the Russia copies from the 6. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. 26 copies of zombies? Bro, that's hype. That is so hype. And yeah, the day 1 fix is good, because then that'll show, you know, that you're committed to showing, you know, the game, that you're improving the game or whatever. And then, yeah, you can keep working on your next game until you find more bugs for that. If I find any bugs when I play it for the speed run, I'll let you know too, so you can fix them. No, that's awesome. Day 1 fix, 26 copies. Amazing. I was panicking. Yeah. Well, it's good I played it then, dude, right? Because then you get you know what you got to do. So you're like, okay, sweet. Because as a game developer, you're sort of like, okay, I know generally what my game is like. But then when it reaches the public, you're like, okay, these people are going to do weird stuff. Like, oh man, they're going to take rockets and they're going to rocket jump? That's bizarre. Very strange. 26 copies, bro. Hype. On the bandwagon, dude. You're a pro game developer. Basically, at this point. That's what a professional game developer is. Somebody makes money from their games, so that title fits you now. Pro game devs in chat. Brent, you're next. Come on, man. February. That's your release date. I think that's what I heard. Pro game dev. Damn. Yeah, that's what it is, dude. Your new title. Welcome to the game dev community. What a hurdle. Oh, damn. I'm not a pro. You'll get pro. Don't worry. Your game's pretty much there, dude. It looks like it. I was watching some of the stream. I got to watch more of it. Actually got to cook another pumpkin today. So I'll probably watch it during that. But you'll get your pro title, Brent. I'm rooting for you. And then I got to get a stream together of a bunch of guys to play the game on stream. So that's what I got to do for that one. Since you got that local multiplayer thing going on. You guys do anything to build a following before release on Steam? So no, me personally, no. I just released the game and then people found it, and then the streamers and word of mouth took it from there. I don't know about Fzzy. I can't speak for him. I don't know what he did. If he did any advertising. Technically, he's advertising in my chat, and I'm advertising by playing the game. So there's that, but I don't know anything outside of that. Oh, actually, Fzzy, I am curious. What countries did you get your sales in? That I am interested in, because it should say denoted by country, what it's at. So, and also you have a great price point for your game. $1 is like a perfect price point to start, because for a game developer, people don't know. They don't know how committed they are to a project. Like $1 is kind of not, that egregious to just throw at a game to have fun for a little bit. So I think you price that very awesomely. But yeah, as for following, no. Most of my sales are in China for my game as well. With the second biggest, I believe, being the Czech Republic. And then it probably goes Slovak after that. And then it probably goes, I don't know, after that. Probably Argentina, honestly. I have a lot of Spanish sales, so. But I think China's 80-90%. 6 US, 2 China, 2 Germany, 2 Netherlands, 2 Poland, 2 Russian Federation. Federation capitalized. 1 Brazil, 1 Canada, Indonesia, Japan, and 6 others. That's awesome, dude. That's really sweet. Congratulations, dude. I'm glad you got the bigger US population to start as well. That way they can tell you any bugs or anything like that. I want to sell mine for a few bucks since it's multiplayer, only thinking I'll only be making half the sales since only one person in a friend group would need to have it. Interesting. Unless I make online lobbies or something. Yeah, that is interesting. I was going to say, if you do end up doing some kind of multiplayer thing like that, you can actually designate to sell a 4-pack on Steam. That would probably be really beneficial for your game if you were to do that. But for now, yeah. And you got 1 refund. Yeah, it makes sense. If people will refund it if they play through it or whatever, if it's too quick or things like that. But I think that you doing the hotfix, showing... Yeah, more coming. Hopefully not. But if you do the hotfix showing that you're working on the game and stuff like that, I think people will be appreciative of it. Just communicating with the community is obviously important. That's something that I struggle with my own work. So I can definitely see that being valuable for an early starting game. But yeah, a few bucks is a good idea, depending on how you feel about it by the time it releases. But yeah, honestly, your game will be a banger, Brent. You could probably do, well, depends on how much content you have. We'll wait and see. But whatever you end up doing, I'm sure it'll be fun. It's a local multiplayer game, so that's a pretty good word of mouth type game as well. Okay, so we did this parrot dialogue. I guess we should test it. Parrot dialogue. Let's make sure his thing is at parrot hat portrait talk is what we changed. I did that 5 minutes ago, I think. Dying slice, speaker speed. We might want to change the speaker speed. Do we want to? Do I have a speaker speed thing here? Talk speed or something? Yeah, talk speed. So Bomber's 20. 20 characters a second? That's pretty crazy. I feel like the parrot would talk fast just by nature of being a parrot. So we'll double that. Cheers, man. I haven't seen anyone play who has no idea about it. We'd love to see some footage of people playing it without me there. So if you play it with your friends, that would actually be really cool for me. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely what I will be doing. Whenever you release your game, or even if you want to demo it, dude, let me know. You can send me the demo, and then I'll get some guys here, and we'll set up some controllers, and then we'll stream it so you can watch it in real time. And then you can do the same thing with Fzzy. You can clench and cringe as we try to break the game. Hello, Thomas. How are you? So that'd actually be pretty hilarious. Yeah. Luckily for you, though, Brent, you don't got to worry about doing the day one fix if there's any bugs. All you have to deal with is us going, Brent, who programmed this? What is the problem here? I'm trying to write up a little tutorial now so anyone who gets the demo can read about it. Awesome. Sweet. You can also, if you wanted to, put the demo on itch.io, and people can start downloading it and trying it out there. That could be a good way to start building a little bit of a community if you wanted to be more sure of your success, or even to like market test it, I guess, is probably the best way to describe that. Hello, Thomas, with multiple exclamation points. What are you up to, man? How you doing? How's your day going? Are you still worried about your presentation, Thomas? Is it stressing you out or what? Okay, portrait's there, but the sprite needs to be top left. How do you know? I'm perceptive. Observant is what I was called yesterday, actually. Is it a good idea to put on an itch? Wouldn't that reduce the sales if people already have the game? Maybe I'll release it with only one level or something like that. So the only reason I haven't released an itch is because you have to do your game without like Steam verification. But my game's also been like pirated a crap ton anyways, and I think that actually helped with my success. So I don't know. The advantage to itch is that you get more of the sales distribution. The split is much better on itch. I think it's a really low percentage. I don't remember what it is, but it's pretty low. And you also get to make a cool page for your game and things like that. And a lot of people look for free games. And then yeah, and then you could release it with only a single level as well. So it feels like deja vu. Look at the percentage for affiliate. I can't look at it right now because it only updates once per day. It's not that I can't look at it, but it just won't change. I can show you. It let me refresh the page. It won't change until the day is done, but I'm pretty close. But it won't change because it has to go the next cycle. Yeah, GG. It's over. It's over, dude. It's over. Thomas is working in the back. Yeah, sad robot. Yeah, I have to wait until, I don't know when Twitch's servers restart, because this morning it didn't look like that. It was different. So, because I had checked it out of curiosity when I woke up. But I think it changes somewhere around 9 or 10 a.m. or something when I started streaming. So, we'll check it again tomorrow and we'll see where I'm at. And then we can go from there. Restart them yourself. Yeah, I'll go over there. I'll give them a little... I'll let them know I'm coming, and I'll set it up so that we can check the server to get that affiliate. And then here, what am I doing? I'm doing the fun ball is what I'm doing. Okay. All right, let's test the bird again. Oh yeah, he looks very disdainful. But actually, I would like his mouth to move faster. So much disdain in this parrot's face. Okay. That probably is pretty... I'm trying to match the animation more. Okay, we will, whoop. Pause this. And then do I actually want to... How would that work? Tell them that it's Cody and yeah, and y'all be like, hey man, it's me. I'm on a name-to-name basis with these guys. Twitch HQ. I also probably, I don't know if this is going to be beneficial or not, but I may also want to double up and make an account on Kick, and then also get whatever their affiliate status on Kick is as well. Just in case, because I know Twitch is having a lot of, or maybe I can dual stream between both of them. Yeah, I may jump out the bridge. I'll be like, yeah, I made a famous indie game, a cult hit classic, specifically in China. I know you guys have a lot of Chinese viewers on Twitch. Pretty big name. in case you didn't know. Voice of the Time Wizard. Don't know if you've heard of that. The Time Wizard. Yeah. Pretty big deal around these parts. So if you could just reset the server so we can get that affiliate, that would be awesome. Really convenient for me, actually. So yeah, we got to... Can I do this? We'll see. Actually, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Worst case scenario, we fail and we get up and we try again. NBD. So let's do this. I want to get his whole hair thing in there. His little ahoge. If we want to use the Japanese word for a tuft of hair that iconically sticks out on a character, the word for that is ahoge. Ahoge. We're going to work on his ahoge. Go like that. Why do I know that word? Weeb confirmed. Hegos. Is that hair? Hegos? Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that Kick is still around, given that they're using the Twitch backend. Are they really using the Twitch backend? I did not know that. Why would they allow their competitor to use a Twitch backend? That's interesting. Yeah, I just noticed that you could stream like much more variety of stuff. Like there's a game that I wanted to do. It's like a indie dev. He made a game, but it's kind of like provocative in a way. And I won't explain why it's provocative, but it just has like a very small level of like artistic nudity in it, and I'd be concerned about streaming that on Twitch because it has like that undertone in it. But that's something I would feel more comfortable streaming on Kick if I was to play through it, because I do want to play through it and I like his games and stuff like that. But I worry about showing certain things like that on Twitch because they're sticklers about it. Luckily though, in the game dev space, there's not really that much drama for things. The Twitch backend is technically an AWS service. I did not know that, Mac. Thank you for talking about that. That's very interesting. Yeah, I'm surprised they are around. You would think they would sabotage them or something. Can I complain for a second? You can complain every time you want, Jazz. Anytime you want. Look at this, Cody. GeForce 1660 Super Gaming something. Complain as much as you want. Also, Jazz, there's other financial experts here in different fields. So I don't know. We got a whole group of finance people. Brett works in financial crime. So if you're committing any of it, he can let you know. And then Mac manages financial server and cloud space. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. That's what I got out of it. You want me to look at this? I'm assuming you're considering buying another graphics card or a better graphics card or something. I couldn't tell you if this is good or not. I'm going to be honest. It's not in my language. What does the description say? It looks like it's just the information. Make games and give financial advice. Yeah, that's what I should. Dude, no, my finances are terrible. I cannot do that. I cannot do that. Okay. Better. It's a better card. Okay. Well, you know, if you want to invest, but remember, you gotta get the games to then stress test them and then see if that you need a better card for it. Okay, so here's Jazz's complaint. Dude, how in the world are they going to have me programming a spreadsheet for data analysis and then they already have one? Oh, no, dude. They've had one the whole time. I honestly feel bad for you at this point. That sounds absolutely terrible. So for context, Jazz had her bosses that wanted her to like run by hand a data analysis thing that was basically like thousands of things they wanted her to sift through and get like a data analysis for. And she was like, no, I'm not doing that. And then they were like, okay, we're going to go to IT and run a data analysis. And she's like, okay. And then months later, they come back to her and they're like, hey, you're like, we need that data analysis. And she's like, you said you were going to talk to IT, basically, and that whole thing. And then, so now it sounds like that they've had a data analysis the entire time. So, in context, she's an accountant. I did mention that earlier for anyone that was listening. Because we were talking about how all the guys were in finance, and I thought that was really funny. Sounds pretty typical, really. Yeah, honestly, Mac, it does sound typical. One department tries to offload it to the other department, and they try to offload it to another department, and then they forget about it for a few months, and then, oh shit, the deadline comes up, so we gotta go talk to somebody in that department again, and then just recycles. The Ouroboros cycle again and again and again and again. I hate this BS. That's great. Quick tip from Cody time. Quick tip. Just a quick tip. That is, yeah, it does sound pretty straightforward. And then for reference, also, Jazz is looking for another job, too. So if you guys in finance need an accountant, you let her know. I get people wanting usage/cost metrics monthly, and then they get the effing email reports anyhow. Okay, so there is an email report that goes out for it, but then they still want usage and cost metrics. That's interesting. Do you do pixel art, Jazz? Good callback, Brent. She's ready to do pixel art, dude. She's ready. She's gonna be doing pixel art pretty soon here. If she keeps watching these streams, she might learn enough programming, dude. She won't even need anything else. She'll be set. Okay, I want to make sure that my origin point for my sprite is better here. They want the metrics handed to them by me because the exact same data is in the email they get. Okay, gotcha. That's annoying. That is very annoying. I should have known everyone here would just be like Cody. Yet. Yeah, honestly, we birds of a feather flock together, so, and we're working on a bird. What more perfect synchronicity here than this? And that looks like a troll face. Beautiful. Yeah, we're all trolls here. Everyone here is engaged with the archetype of the jester in some form or fashion. This is the naturalness of being here. Until the cat comes. Until the cat comes. Yes. Then the birds will have to fly. I don't know, Jazz. First pixel art. Next 3D. Then you'll be there. Pretty much. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from being in a more interesting hobby and career field. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm pretty content with that. That do be pretty good. Actually, you know what would be interesting? Why would I not just start where I wanna? That's a good question. I would honestly just start where you wanna, frankly, for the sake of inspiration. And then if you feel like you run into some obstacles and you want to learn some more of the basics later, you can go back to it for sure. But yeah, just start where you want to, honestly. I know some people are real big on building your foundation, and that's important too. But if you have inspiration for something, I think seizing that inspiration is more important so that you can learn the boundaries of what you know and don't know. Thank you for the update, Thomas. 332. I had someone from our finance department ask if we could get rid of a bunch of our data because it was expensive. 1.5 million per year. Damn. Gotta go. Have a great day, Thomas. Thank you for coming out here, and have a good day. I'm going to lunch. Thank you for coming out here, Jazz. It's almost lunchtime for me, too. It's almost breakfast for me, actually. Damn. 1.5 million per year for data? That's insane, dude. I guess it makes sense because you're on a cloud, right? So... nuts. That was absolutely nuts. I could see why they were like, hey, do you think we could get rid of this data? But yeah, you're probably like, well, it's sort of integral to the company running, so I don't know if we can do that. Day D is coming yesterday. I don't know what Day D is. And I was just having it out there, and it's not using... oh, man. So you have data that's out there that's just not being used in any way? Well, I guess that makes sense why they're trying to get rid of it, but that's crazy. I did not know that, yeah. I mean, you said like hundreds of terabytes of data, so that makes sense. And yeah, Thomas, I don't know what Day D is coming yesterday. You're talking about Day Z? Our answer was like, yes, but I'm pretty sure our clients would like to have it. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's client information. I don't think we can just delete that. I think legally we can't delete that. That makes sense because Google recently did this thing where they're like, hey, if you don't access your Google Drive in like 6 months, we're just going to axe it or something, or like 2 years or whatever. So they're probably, oh, your presentation day, D-Day. That's what you're talking about. Got it. I can't wait. It'll be good. It'll be good. Your presentation will be good, man. Don't worry about it. I believe in you. Gold, please. Gold, please. You got this, dude. You got it in the bag. Just picture everybody in their underwear or something. That's how you got to get through that presentation. Or close your eyes when you're doing the presentation. Even easier. I did public speaking when I was in high school. That was pretty fun. I don't think I could give you any advice on it. Just have fun with it, I think, is the best way to do it. I'm gonna do a blink sprite actually because I want to make him feel more alive, and I want to feel his dread. So I'm gonna do that. Weed? I don't know if weed's gonna help you. You got this, mate. Have you done any practice in front of the mirror or something? Yeah, practice is very good too. Yeah, we have one database that's 90 terabytes and grows daily. That's insane. That is insane. Yeah, I imagine financial data that the people would definitely want to have. Look at Discord. I'll look at your Discord message. If I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anyone, but there would be signs. That's a sign. That's a good meme, dude. Yeah, I would maybe just practice for your thing, Give it a little bit of work, see if you like your everything you got. Make sure you have notes. You can write them on your hands too, or something like that. Oh, what am I doing here? We got a hat. Talk. Wait. Portrait talk. Okay, sorry. I messed this up. This is portrait talk. Yeah, I know. I messed up. That's because I used to use GameMaker Studio 1 that didn't have this problem. And I got used to it by nature of doing it over and over again, and then they changed it. Because originally what would happen is when you would duplicate a sprite, it would automatically focus the window to that new sprite. So I would think I'd be working on the new sprite. But it doesn't do that anymore. It just duplicates it and then leaves it in the thing. So I got to physically click on it to go to it to make sure I'm not editing the sprite I was just working on. So I don't know if there's a way you can change that. Kind of silly, though. Okay, that text works. And what did I miss here? If I won the lottery, I will have 900 petabytes of spare data and like 3 GameMaker projects on it. Yeah, that'd probably be the same for me too. I'd have a RAID array of data, and I would put everything on it, and it would be fireproof. And then I would have my Jump Off the Bridge game on it, which I think is like 300 megabytes or something. And then I would have my other games I'd be working on. I do have some other projects. I will show them at some point. They might be broken now, but there's some other games that we can consider what to work on after the update. Because I have my after the update priorities, which would be cool to do some of the YouTube videos to try to get YouTube affiliate, whatever, or YouTube partnership program it is, I believe. So that might be my secondary goal after this. But I also want to do the Addo game jam. So we'll figure out a time for that and how we're going to do the judging and the rules of that. And then it'd be cool to make another game, honestly. I do want to make another game. I like Jump Off the Bridge. I have a lot more to do. Obviously, you can see all these red levels here. I will be completing them and probably adding 30 more. But it would be cool to work on something else for a little bit, too. Might even be refreshing, I will say. So here, I got this. We're going to take this sprite. And for blink, I'm going to do this. Oh, sorry. This needs to be the same height. Otherwise, it'll skew the aspect ratio. Okay, actually, what we can do is we can just... no, because they're all different layers. Yeah, let's just copy this again with all of its layers. And let's go to the blink one. And let's place a blink again. That'll be scaled correctly. And then we will add the rest of the hair, the ahoge, I should say. It's here. Well, okay. Okay, and this one has the disdainful beak. I feel like the word I want to say is couture. Is that the word I'm thinking of? Define couture. So I said he had the disdainful beak couture, the design and manufacture of fashionable clothes. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. It's the design of clothing. Okay, blink. He blinks pretty quickly. Maybe do. 1 frame a second? I like 1 frame a second. Let's do that. So then after the sprite finishes talking, I think we have after sprite. Yeah, after talk sprite. We'll do the blink to give them a little bit more of that slow life in them. All the other characters just stare, but it's kind of funny to think that the bird will blink, so I'm going to leave it in. Don't know what I'd do with that much disk space. Heck, I've got 8 terabytes of server space that I don't use. That's crazy. Just at your house, you have 8 terabytes of server space? That's wild. I'm assuming you're running a server at your house then for some reason? I guess you could put a bunch of movies on it or something and then watch the movies in any room of the house, or have your friends connect to your network or something. In case you want to load up the Google, what is that called? It's like a Chrome stick or something. I've seen people do that. I've just bought 1 terabyte SSD. Dude. You'll be cooking with that space. I just got the M.2 drive for my computer not too long ago, and that's been pretty nice. The M.2s are super, super, super fast. Maybe what I'll do is we'll do 2 of these to every 1 blink. Yeah, that looks better. Let's see what that looks like in game. I prefer it not to be at 50-50. My lab is currently made up of 2 blades. One's Unraid and the other Proxmox. I'm not that familiar with that stuff, but that is interesting. I'm assuming a blade is like an array of something, or no? I used to take apart servers, so I remember each of those blades. I'm assuming a blade is like that big server storage unit thing that they slide in there, and then they have like a cabinet. So I think that's what the blade is. We used to destroy those things, man. Those are like all these old companies are getting rid of like old server stuff. Yeah, that's a blade. Okay. And we just had like drills, and we had to like cut the stuff. Probably the IT department hated us for removing that stuff because it was just on a random weekend, and we had to just load it into this random truck. I'd get a call, and the guy would be like, "Hey, can you be at this location at this hour?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then we would drive there, show up. Me and one of my cousin's buddies were doing it, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, here's a bank. The doors are open. Just go in there, and you gotta take these servers out, and then you gotta carry them to the truck and load them." I'm like, "Okay, is this sketchy, or should we be doing this?" He's like, "Nah, yeah, it's fine. We got the approval. You gotta take this, this, and this." I'm like, "Okay." Then we load it on, and he just give us cash and leave. And he's like, "I'm going to Canada." I'm like, what the fuck is this? What job are we doing? Did a lot of weird freelance type stuff. It was super bizarre. 2 super micros with 32 cores, 128 gigabytes of RAM. That's crazy, bro. That is insane. 32 cores with 128 gigs of RAM. Oh my god. Yeah, sketchy AF. Sketchy as. Very sketchy. That was a fun job, though. They gave me all the identification to do stuff for them. We were supposed to go to New Jersey, which is quite a drive. And we were supposed to take like hundreds of monitors from this company, but it happened right around the time that like COVID broke out. So they weren't able to move their truck across the country lines in order to get the stuff. They were like a recycling company or something, but it was just funny. This is pretty funny. Yeah, sketchy as. Good times. Okay, sweet. He's got the personality I'm looking for. I might make his actual sprite stop after. Let's do that. I know it's probably me being a little bit pedantic about the details, but part of making a game is the little bit of touch and love that the developer puts into it. And my touch of love, it varies between torture and love. We'll see. But I'm a stickler for the details. So right now we have it so that if he's talking, we have this. So actually, this is a little bit of a weird code, but I do have other characters that talk a bit and then they stop talking, and we have a stop talking. I should probably just make that a script, honestly. I'll think about that later. Let me try to think about, actually, let me think of a character that has the actual talk stop. I think the guy in the faith level has it. I think he has a talk stop. The shepherd. Yes. Let us look at the shepherd. Oh wait, does he? Did I just see him continue yapping? No, he does stop. May sound boring, but it was fun setting up a single sign-on to all my services. That, I don't think is boring. That's an interesting challenge. I don't know what is the difficulty with setting up a single sign-on, though. Like, what does that entail? Do you have to, like, go in and create an account that's the same for every single one of the servers or something? A single sign-on to all my services. I might actually be misinterpreting what you're saying. I'm not sure. Unless you... Maybe I'm thinking servers instead of services. Are you talking like Amazon, like Prime or something like that? Or like Netflix or something? So yeah, this should have a... Yeah. Stop talking. That's basically what this is here. Okay, let's do that. So created... dialogue, and let's paste that in here, and then we'll look at it. So stop talking animation on end, instance created, with created, draw equals the text length of the page, other image speed equals that. Okay, and image index equals 1, or image speed equals 1. So the speed is set to 1. Here I'll do, oh no, that should work, because created doesn't exist. Actually, let's change this. This is old code. So we should do if instance exist created. That should be more proper. If instance exists, instance does not exist, created, and you're within 30 pixels of the absolute value of the x of both of myself and the player, myself being the parrot, then else, if you're greater than that, and created exist. Yeah, have a great day, Thomas. Thank you for, you got stuff to do, I understand. Take it easy. Have a good night. Exist. Created. So if instance does exist, instance destroy, set it to nothing, image speed index. Okay. Let's see if that works for the parrot. So I set up KeyCloak as an identity provider, then hook my self-hosted service to use that for login. Services Gitea, Open Project, and HashiCorp Vault. So rather than having to create an account for each of those, I create one in KeyCloak that provides the authentication. That's really interesting. Okay. That does sound like a pretty cool problem to solve. I honestly am not that knowledgeable about that type of programming. I just have an associate's in game design, but that is pretty interesting. I could see why that would be a fun thing to solve, so you wouldn't have to constantly change the services you would open up. I think I'm understanding that correctly. Yeah, so KeyCloak provides the main. It's sort of like a tree, right? I'm thinking like a hierarchical structure sort of thing. So KeyCloak is at the top, and then all of the self-hosted services reference KeyCloak instead of you having each of these have different identity providers or using identity providers within each of these. I got my bachelor's in computer science and I've been in the industry for 13 plus years. Okay. Well, I definitely don't feel bad about not knowing what any of those things are. That is understandable. Yeah, 13 plus years. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's a computer science. My cousin's in computer science as well, and he's working for Walmart right now. He just moved out to Arkansas to do that. And they're like one of their headquarters or something. So that's pretty interesting. That'd probably be more up his speed, that sort of networking stuff. So if you sign into a web service with Google, it's basically the same thing. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was imagining it being like a sign-on. Think of those sign-in with web pages. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So it's like it has a sign-in with all of the multiple things on it. Understandable. Good, okay. And I'll have to check this later, but I'm pretty sure that when you buy a hat, the parrot also has dialogue or something. Maybe not, but I could add dialogue for him. I could add it. So now we have it so the parrot, he'll talk, he'll squawk even. And then when he stops squawking, his sprite will stop. So we have that sort of consistency, which is what I was looking for. But yeah, the sign in with web pages, that makes a lot of sense. Good, okay. Perfect. So we did that. We have our goals sketch. So let's actually, let's go in. We got the parrot portrait done. Let's, if I can remember what the markdown code for a thing is. Okay, there we go. Boom, done. Then we have another list. So the next thing I probably will do, which will probably be off stream. What are we at right now? Yeah, we're pretty close to done. Okay, so next thing I'm probably going to do is I'm going to do, maybe I'm going to look at the areas to block off, and I might do the key areas, because I want at least 5 of those for the keys, because I have a system in here now. So previously in Jump Off the Bridge, it was a linear number for each of the levels. And you could only progress linearly with unlocking levels, which was kind of stupid because I have levels, for example, that have like teleports, and so I couldn't effectively use the teleports. So now I have a dynamic like level system that I think it structs is what it is. It's been a while since I looked at it, but it contains all the information, saves it out, and it's dynamic. So now I can unlock any level in any order. And so I added keys, which you can see in the top right here, to facilitate that. Because I wanted to incentivize players the opportunity that if they were stuck on a particular level, they could use a key to open it. Because one of the rewards for my game has and always will be, I want to reward the curiosity of the player. That's probably one of my overarching ideologies for my vision, is to reward curiosity. So now I have a tangible reward, the key, and I had noticed that some of my players and my family members that have played the game that aren't that good at platformers struggle to beat certain levels. And I don't want to necessarily punish them from not being able to see the rest of the game, because obviously as time has gone on, I put a lot of effort into the end levels of the game, and I want them to be able to reach them. So the only thing I decided to do was add keys that allows them to dynamically unlock whatever level they want. Now the disadvantage to this is that they could go anywhere. They could go straight to the end if they wanted to. And then I needed to come up with a way to differentiate the people that beat the level and the ones that don't beat the level. So in summary, I have a star here that determines whether you've actually beaten a level. And if you have beaten a level, it'll show the dancing star, which is also something I can reference for achievements now as well. So each level has a completion status, whether it's a work in progress, whether it can be accessed, whether it can be unlocked, sort of thing. So just a way to help players out that struggle with those sort of things. So cheap viewers, it's always these cheap viewers, dude, every time. Sounds like a great deal. Yeah, nice. Yeah, so that's some of my thought and ideology behind that. It's the only difficulty with making a difficult game, really, is that you want players to be able to see more of the stuff, but I also don't want to undercut their achievements. So one of the important things is I haven't made anything easier for the game, because I really like that there's sort of almost a status quo of like, oh, these people like feel the achievement of beating the boomerangs, which are some of the harder levels in the game initially that players end up coming face with. These levels are quite a gate for progress for most people, but I don't want them to not see any of the rest of the game, so I'm trying to allow them the opportunity while still having to achieve, essentially using their curiosity to find the keys. They'll get one key for free. I'll make it so that you can buy a key. That's something I'm going to do in the shop, so you'll be able to grind for money somehow, whether it be by the virtue of praying that the slots land in your favor. Maybe I'll finish the horse races that I'm doing so you can gamble your money on that, or maybe I'll do some sort of arcade way to make money, something of that sort. So that's relatively easy. The other way I have to make money is this money box here. So it teleports you inside the money box, and it's like those things that you saw on old commercials where everybody's trying to grab as much money as possible, except the money is like sentient and doesn't want to be grabbed and is actively running from you. And you got to grab as much as you can in the time frame. So that's also another way to earn money. It's a much slower process, but it's kind of just supposed to be like a fun mini game sort of thing. And I can do alternate levels for this as well. So we're going to consider money and how players get money and how we're affecting money and things like that. All interesting stuff. So I only made $4 there because of my incompetence. But so we got that to think about, and we can set a key price based on how much money that I think they're getting between levels, and then we can do that. So yeah, probably keys next, I think. So secret areas, but I can do that off stream, and then we'll continue back with game design tomorrow. We'll talk about a time. I don't know. Do you guys like the early stream? Should I do later? Did you like the later stream yesterday? What works for you? You guys can let me know. Maybe we'll do a poll in the Discord or something, and then we'll go from there. But either way, I can do it tomorrow. It doesn't matter what I do it as. So then we can also, yeah, okay. So that'll be pretty good. So we'll focus on that. I'll try to tackle some of these things from my list. Fixing these trading cards as well. That'll be pretty easy. Just art. So I like both, but later one probably help me get my sleeping bag in order. Okay, then maybe that's what I'll do, since, like I said, a lot of my friends in Michigan here have it later. And I do appreciate you being on and talking with me and everything. It's a lot of fun. Both of you, all you guys, basically. It's a great time. So I want to try to, I'm going to balance it probably. I'll do like a mixes of it, but I don't have a schedule yet. So for now, I'll do the later one. I'll probably start at the same time, like 2 p.m. Eastern time for me. And then we'll see how that goes. So sweet. Awesome. Okay. I think that's everything I wanted to say. Well, have a great day, guys. Thank you all for coming out. Mac, I'm glad you came back. That's awesome. I followed you, so whenever you stream, I'll come look at that. Brent, same thing. I'll come look at your streams and everything. So keep on game deving. I'm excited to see it all. Cheers, man. Thank you for the stream. No problem. Thank you for coming out, guys. I had a lot of fun today. Cool. Yeah, take it easy. I'll make a blue sky, and then I'll probably follow you, Mac, so I can see more of your stuff. Because I noticed you post GIFs and stuff in there. Your channel does not have VODs on, Mac, so I cannot see previous VODs. So if you want people to be able to come view the game and get like more look at it, I would turn that on. I don't know if your account is like new or something and you don't have it turned on, but it's like an option to save VODs. So make sure you turn that on so we can see previous streams. Unless you're doing sketchy stuff and you don't want it saved, then, more power to you. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming out. Have a great day, and I will talk to you guys all later. Yeah, I had VODs turned off a long time ago. Okay, yeah, it helps to get some visibility, but obviously I'm sure you have your reasons, so it's whatever. But yeah, anyways, awesome. We'll see you on the flip side. I'll come back tomorrow. We'll see how many of these things I've knocked out in between now and then. I'm gonna go cook a pie pumpkin in the air fryer, and then we're gonna go from there. That'll be my day. Programming, prioritizing this, and then we'll go from there. So great stream. Have a good day, guys. Take it easy. Keep up the game dev stuff. If you guys make any progress, share it in the Discord. I definitely want to see it, because I like the community focus of us making progress and sharing it and stuff like that. So take it easy, have fun, and have a good rest of your day. Peace.